Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection, coming to you from the wonderfully cool studios of Best 100 FM in Kingston, Jamaica. A very special good morning to Delroy Henry, who is already giving us best wishes for the new year. Best wishes to you also. We're going to spend some time expressing our deepest and highest desires for our listeners as we enter into 2023. But first, let me just thank those who have joined us online and on air. We know that you have a choice of whom to listen to in the mornings, and it's just wonderful that you choose to listen to us. Thank you so very, very much. Good morning to those in studio also, to the producer and to Mr. Engineer man who went and dug in his archives and found a Joe Mercer song for us. Young Joe Mercer, only 31 years old, passed away on, I think Tuesday it was, or Wednesday? Tuesday. On Tuesday in the USA, grandson of our own Bob Marley, and himself a budding artist. I mean, from what I've read, he was on stage with his dad. Is it Ziggy or Steven's son? Which
Stephen.
one? Stephen. He was on stage with his dad from he was just about a toddler. So, and he has produced his own body of work. So we tried to just pay tribute to him by playing one of his songs. So that, an artist has passed away. Let it not be said that his music was not appreciated or his voice was not heard. I don't know if you heard the song, Pastor Percival. Good morning to you, my dear.
No, I did not hear the song. I woke.
You woke up this morning.
No, I woke up in
What happened?
worship. The
worship consumed you.
Yes, the worship
All right.
consumed me.
That's all right. I
As we
bless you
said,
for it.
worship is
Work on worship.
and service. All yeah. The fragrance of my worship rose up to the Father.
And I hope it was wonderfully fragrant, sir.
Yes, because when the fragrance of your worship go up, then He responds to it.
So you had a lot of fat in the worship.
And
the fat is what gives it the smoke.
Burn it off.
And the sweet smell.
Yes. Right, as we... Good morning. Good morning to everybody. Good morning to our persons who are up live on the live stream already. Good morning.
Yeah.
Out of England, out of Canada, out of the USA. Good morning to you. Good morning to those people who are on the buses getting to work, even as we march to the end of 2022 and emerge into 2023. Well, I am marching. I am
just rolling along.
No, I'm not rolling. I am marching with expectation that
that you're pregnant.
Yes, that 2023 is going to be a wonderful year based on the choices that you make. That thing came to me very strong this morning. The whole question of choices that you make, and in order to make the proper choices, you have to have the right information. And I'm so glad that we've been able to present the information. And as we get the responses from a lot of our listeners and our viewers, the important thing is that you have the information so you can make informed choices. So as we began, remember this was a major theme on our program when we began, because we began right in the midst of the COVID pandemic. And that is something I heard in my ears every single day from my beautiful co-host.
Oh,
yeah.
You lost me until you said beautiful.
Oh, Lord. Beautiful co-host kept saying the importance of making informed choices, informed consent. And that's what it is about. So even as we finish 2022 and move into 2023, it's going to be about the choices that you make. The choices that you make. And, well, you make your choices and we'll see where that takes you. In the end,
I love it that you're focusing on the intentionality of our actions.
Yes,
don't just drift along. Like I said, we're not just rolling into the close of the year as if we have no control over what happens. Impose control over the things that are happening in your life, and it's not as difficult to do as it may sound. I mean, just simply reviewing what's before you and saying, I take this instead of that, I reject this, I put away that. It will even lift your spirit, because there's nothing like, exercising a little authority to boost the self-esteem. We see it all the time. You approach a gate and a security guard is there, and he has some authority which he can use.
Yes, they always impose their
punitively or graciously. And,
I always find it so funny in regards to, yes.
Yeah, and you can see that it builds self-esteem.
Give something for him. Yeah.
Oh yes, and sometimes, if you're in a playful mood, you just give them an opportunity to really use that authority.
Mm-hmm.
Give them a boost. All right. So Thursday morning, we're not at the Ligani Club. So those of you who are looking for the beautiful sunshine and the vibrant greens of the garden, and maybe even imagining the smell of JD's food wafting across the terrace, none of that this morning. You can tell I miss it too.
Yeah. You miss it, Osh.
And why are we here again, producer? I think it was my call.
I remember that distinctly when we closed the program yesterday, and you said it, and the producer says, it's your call.
Yes.
So you called it. You called the game.
Yes, I made a call. And do you know why I made a call? Partly selfish, partly thinking about the listeners and those who like to call in.
Yeah, because
we get to chat with you.
Yes.
And that's,
yes, so we get to chat with them this morning. It's our last program for 2022. Yes.
It is? Yes. Thursday. Yes.
So you made the right call. You made the right call. You made the right call.
So partly it was thinking of the listeners, and the other part was thinking of me when we have to go to Ligani Club. It's an additional half an hour loss of sleep, and some of us are still gathering our energies after the rigors of cooking for family and entertaining during the holidays. I really do enjoy opening the house to
I know you do that, and she's a wonderful chef, not a cook.
So is Pastor.
So she's no man. Stop. Hold on. We pass the break. It's 6:30.
Good. Let's take the break. Nobody noticed that.
Nobody said this morning. The usual time out.
They're not used to Thursday morning in studio.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Legally, the queen of the South, and I'm inviting you all to trailblaze with me on the best of the best radio station, the Best 100 FM, Mondays through Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. You can't afford to miss it on your airwaves. Yes, trailblaze with Lady Lee right here, Mondays to Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. on the best of the best, Best 100 FM. Yeah.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Yes, what's coming to the best 100 of them? In that mix, with Nessa and DJ Richie. The mix comes on every Monday to Thursday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Join us as we entertain you, inform you, and educate you on everything that will keep you in a mix on Best 100 of them. Someone out there himself.
Half a tree, one and jive. Bossy, how do I take taxi start?
Chano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and then diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040. or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Try to call, cause trust me.
What a relief.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on the Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back. And so, yeah, the runaway train was finally brought into the station.
I don't know if this train is going somewhere this morning.
There's a song that said this train.
Yes,
Carry
there's a song. It's Toots. It's Toots are one of those guys. This train. The song is
Sing along.
No, it's there, but I don't.
We carry no backbiter.
Yeah, something like that. But the thing. So this morning, as we close out 2022, what is very foremost in my mind, and it has consumed me all of yesterday into this morning, is the question of choices. The choices that you make will determine where you end up. Yesterday, when we close out the time of prayer, and the song, if you've noticed for the last couple of weeks that I've used, is Expect the Great by, I'm trying to remember the artist's name, but Expect the Great. Expect God to intervene. Have an expectation, but in terms of your expectation, you have to be intentional in terms of your actions. A lot of us just go with the flow, but I'm saying to you right now, today, you have to be intentional in regards to your thought patterns, the way that you think, and being intentional about, okay, if this is so, and I've come up with an idea, I have a vision, a goal, then there are some things that you have to do. I often say to young people that I mentor, it is wonderful to have all of these ideas of what you want to be when you grow up, where you want to go. But if you do not put the work in, then what you are doing, you're just wishing. You're wishing. You're not going anywhere at all. And so you have to be intentional in terms of your actions, the things that you do. And always, for us, we had a major discussion last night in terms of our family meeting, which happens on a Wednesday night. When we just meet and chat, and we use the word to guide our discussions. And I asked my sons, and George brought it up yesterday. George was saying, if he was in the position of Joseph, that's major boy. You remember that discussion? And my son said, yeah, Daddy, because I don't know if an angel had come.
Oh, this is Joseph, the mother of the father of
Jesus. I don't know how to deal with it. And I says, yeah, but you must recognize that it was God who was intervening in terms of fulfillment of a lot of things that he had said previously. And what helped him was the angelic appearance. It says, you probably are thinking to do the honorable thing. That's what the account says in Matthew. He wanted to do the honorable thing. He didn't want to for her to be stoned.
No, he wanted her to put her away quietly.
so
That's
that
not honorable and just discreet.
Well,
Honorable would be to stand by her.
No, you think so?
Of course.
No,
Where
you want
does-
to put her away discreet because remember,
What
in
would
that
that
context,
mean for her? Just understand what that would mean for her.
he wanted to put her away quietly because
Yes.
the other thing that faced him was he could have gone the way of her being stoned.
He could have married her.
Yeah, but he married her. He married her. He married her. He
So
married her.
no, so I'm just saying, I'm just challenging you a bit that
Yes.
putting a word discreetly is not honorable. I mean, maybe it's even cowardly, but
He could have, you think
I'm being hard on Joseph.
You've
I'm
been
being hard on the
Joseph,
hypothetical
Joseph.
Joseph.
Yes.
Because the real Joseph did the honorable
Right.
thing.
Yeah. Well, it isn't. The focus is being intentional in terms of your actions, and the children of Israel face the same decisions, the choices that they had to make. Remember Joshua, in Joshua 24, when after they had done all of these fantastic things and had all of these fantastic victories and miracles, Jericho, defeating the people. And he says, all right, guys, you have seen the hand of God in your life. And this God wants to continue to be with you, but there are choices that you have to make in terms of if what you have experienced, you want to continue to do that. Every single day, you have to make choices that are lining up with your original vision and intention. And that's what I want to leave with us here on this program as we cross over from 2022 into 2023. We as individuals are going to have to take responsibility for the choices we make in terms of our daily lives, in terms of our relationships, how we interact with each other, in terms of our family. And this nation is at a crossroads in terms of what it is that we want as a nation. Do we want to continue the way that we are going, or do we make choice to say no? The crime and violence, the corruption, all of the other things that seem to, what is the word? To hold us in a stranglehold, we have to make choices individually first, because it really begins there. But if people begin to make the right choice, which is to choose righteousness and to choose justice, and to understand that when you choose righteousness and justice, you are following in the path of God. Because Psalms 89:14 says that his throne is built upon righteousness, justice, mercy, and truth follow after him. Choose righteousness, choose justice, the mercy and the truth will follow. And if we are righteous and do right things in terms of our relationship, which is to love our neighbor as ourselves, we're going to begin to see in a very, 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 very significant way the changes that happen from the ground up that will push a lot of what we see coming from our leaders out of the way. We'll force them to change. Because I say to you, our leaders can only be corrupt if we allow them to be corrupt. But if we choose to do otherwise, in terms of the simple things we do, like if you go to to get your driver's license. And I remember when I was getting my driver, and this was over 30 odd years ago, my instructor said to me, "What do you want? You want to drive for it, or you just want to do a thing?" And it was a gas at him and saying, he really was offering me that choice.
A shortcut?
Yes. And I'm saying, no.
I want to drive.
I want to drive for my driver's license.
And did they fail you? Or they?
No, they didn't fail me.
Because that's the next thing. Failure persistently.
That you have to deal with. And
until you have to go and do the test somewhere else.
Yes. Or that's a simple thing that people choices that you have to make.
And do you know that right there you mentioned is a part of the reason why there's chaos on the roads with drivers?
Yes.
Because there are some persons who say, yeah, man, give me the shortcut.
Yeah.
And they did not know how to drive or understand the rules of the road or so on and so on. That's why one crime typically leads to another.
The small things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we on an individual level begin to do that, it really takes us into the real change that we speak about on this program. The values and the attitudes that we have. Go back again to the just about the personal relationships that we have with each other. Somebody step on your toe. Simple thing, somebody step on your toe. I'm sorry. So even if you tell them I'm sorry, no, they're ready to fight you. Have you ever been in a position like that?
No, sir.
I have.
Really?
Yes.
You
because
have
I take the
feet.
bus.
My feet are small.
Yeah.
If I step on somebody's toe.
And then I go feel no, but you know you have those interactions.
My tiny feet don't trouble anybody.
Choose to do the right thing in the situation. Some people say, choose to be the big man or the big woman in the situation in terms of those interactions. And that is tied into this verse of scripture, Colossians 3:6. Whatever you do, in word or deed, do it unto the glory of God. And this is a call out to the 50 or 60% of us who say that we are Christians, who go to church on a Saturday or Sunday or whichever day you choose to go. Let the way that we interact with our neighbor speak to the God that we say that we serve. We make too much of a separation. Okay, I do this on Saturday or Sunday, but how I interact in the week at work with my family is a totally different thing. And when we were growing up, they had this expression, "I'm a Grecian." You remember that?
No.
Have you read that producer, somebody say a Grecian? You're Grecian because they're mocking you as a Christian. They're saying, you're really not following through.
You're not genuine.
Yeah, because there is an expectation if you say that you are a Christian, that there are certain behaviors that follow after you, that follow back at you. So people see it and they know that this is so. So Jesus said it. This is how they're going to know that you are my disciples, when you love one another. So it goes back to that again. How we deal with our neighbor, how we drive on the road. Hallelujah. How we drive on the road. It is a wonderful thing that this morning I was coming down, and when you reach up to the crossing where there's Constance Spring Road, and then where West Kings House Road come across, and there's a stoplight there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm driving, and I'm going, it's a good thing I was
sober.
After eating that cake, I was wondering if I was going to be sober at all. The cake I tell you about yesterday.
You ate more?
Yes, man. But the cake tastes nice enough, but too much alcohol in it. And in an instant, this taxi man, I'm going, if I was quick on the draw in terms of coming out of the stoplight.
You would have met his car.
Yes. So those, my friends, the little choices. We think they're little choices, but it's small choices that have great implication in terms of what we do. And to the persons who are the princes of the land. The princes of the land.
No, I was listening to a wonderful young man speak. I'll tell you about him after, off air.
Yeah.
There's a wonderful young man speak about the ministry of angels yesterday.
Okay.
And he said one of the ways to engage with the supernatural around you is to remain so connected to God, be constantly in dialogue and in communication with Him, and seek to emulate His way in your behavior constantly. that requires you to be so present in every moment of
Being
your
intentional,
time.
being mindful, they call it.
So you are always saying, let me seek to do
What is right?
what will glorify God, not just even what I think is right, but what will glorify God. Because there are some things, that you can get away with it.
Nobody knows it.
But are you seeking to glorify God, who sees everything, including the motivation in your heart?
Yeah.
So your motivation needs to be, I want to do something that demonstrates
In the
the
situation.
glory, the beauty, the kindness, the love, the heart of God. When you do that, you will always find supernatural, unusual, exciting things happening to you.
Yeah.
Things that you may not even, that defy explanation. You don't even really attempt to explain it. Like something happened to me this morning. I'm still kind of trying to make sense of it.
Still in awe.
I'm still trying to make sense of it. Even when I was sharing it with Lowell, I couldn't quite explain it. I was trying to fix something, and I thought time had run out because we needed to leave. And I left it all muddled up and tangled. And when I came into the room, I saw that Lowell was still getting his stuff together. And I said, let me go back and finish it. When I went back in, the thing was perfectly fixed.
Wow.
I say it and I'm like, I know that I was unable to fix it because I needed to get another tool, and I was there fiddling with it. And then I said, time is running. When I went back to take it up, straight, tidy, in proper order, I'm looking at it and saying, whoa, okay. I still don't understand it. But the fact of the matter is, small things begin to shift in your environment when you remain so connected. And how do you do that? Because we're talking about it, and person might say, what does she mean? For years now, I drive by myself, or I've been driving by myself for a long time, but always in my thoughts, I'm talking to God. I'm saying, thank you for this. Thank you for that. Help me with this. Help me with that. I really appreciate. I look at nature and I'm saying, whoa, you did this just so that when I look out, my soul is soothed. I hear, I see the rain. I look at the sky. I'm somebody who is always so in touch with nature, what's happening around me. When I see someone, if I see someone at the stoplight and they're looking for help, I can actually say, body of Christ. It's been such an ongoing pattern. I never even notice it. Talking about it now, I can look back and see me at the stoplight, driving along the road, going to the country, talking to friends, and I'm always narrating something that connects with what God is doing around us.
Yeah.
When you remain that connected, doors open for you, holes that you should fall in magically disappear. Like I said here, I know that I should be dead. I don't even feel weird saying it. I know that.
But
all the time, and people will ask you, how did you, what I'm like,
but for God,
grace of God.
Grace of God. The grace of God.
Grace of God. And sometimes, I check myself because I'll think,
check
okay.
If you are alive?
No, I check myself in, am I showing the right appreciation? Because here's something as you approach the end of the year that each of us need to do. We need to do a little systems check. Check. You have a chronic illness, and you're not able to afford the medication that you need, and somehow you're alive. And you can see very well-resourced people dropping down dead from the same kind of illness, and they have all they need. You know it. You in your neighborhood, or you see on the news, you read about people who have when they die, and you say, you hear that, they had lupus, they had diabetes, hypertensive.
You have them thing that one day.
And you're like, whoa, am I alive?
Yes.
I am only drinking coconut water and lime juice. or in my case, I'm trying out the sorrel and ginger tea. The sorrel with the seeds that my brethren gave us the recipe. I said, when I hear these things, I try them because I really want to know how it is that the leaves of the tree are for the healing of the nation. Then the nation must be healed.
True.
But you out there, you understand some things about your situation. You know what is happening with you, and you see that others who they're better resourced than you, and you read about them in the paper, they're on the news as the eulogies are being read, yet you're alive. You must give God thanks. You must know that He has kept you. He has kept you against all kinds of odds. You live in a community that is fraught with violence and all kinds of things are happening. The police has not carted you off. You're still alive. Your neighbor house burned down. You're intact. Come on. You must know that your safety, your security does not occur by accident. Check on these things as you get to the end of the year. Do your audit and give proper thanks to God. I was saying to a group of persons yesterday that when you give proper thanks to God, it is the free will offering. It's an interesting thing to go through the Old Testament and understand the many ways in which God taught His people to show appreciation.
Yeah, to give thanks.
Yeah, the free will offering. These are the things that you freely give because you are just saying thanks. You're not it's not a seed offering that you're planting for something harvest to come. It's not a sin offering because you
did something wrong.
You did something wrong, and like the flowers you give to your wife.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a sin offering. That's a sin offering, by the way.
When I give flowers to my wife?
No, the ones when you do. Not you, my dear. You give, please,
I give flowers to my wife, but it's not a sin offering. I'm just showing appreciation.
That could be a free will offering.
Yeah, but when some men give
a
me
love token, but there are many who have this sin offering.
I like how you put it.
And the women know when they're getting a sin offering.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, we digress. I'm gone into your other field. Let me stay in this one. But at the end of the year, as you do your audit, you have to say, Lord, I want to just do something to show my appreciation.
Thanks.
Thanks. If you don't have cash, I'm constantly saying this because there have been times when I want to show appreciation and I don't have cash because the cash is the cheapest gift.
Mm-hmm.
Cash is the gift you give for your own convenience. You remember that, I say you remember like you were there, that the temple was such a distance from where many people lived. Mm-hmm. They could not lug the 1-year-old bull or the 2 goats or carry the doves or whatever it is that they wanted to give. There came a time when it was not convenient either for the human being or for the animal sacrifice for you to be dragged to the altar in the right place.
So they had money change.
So you had money, absolutely. Or people start to sell animals at the temple. So you go with your cash, you make the exchange. And if you can't find an animal of the right characteristics for the offering that you need to give, then you put the money in very soon the whole animal thing fell away and we were only left with money. So offering is money. But there are some churches, that you can give jewelry.
Mm-hmm. There are some churches that will take anything. I know people have given cars and other things. Seriously.
Yes, because you give what you have, your substance is the fruit of your production, and that's what you pull from to make a gift. So just remember that as you do your audit and you end up and you see, whoa, I got a lot this year. Mm-hmm. Good production this year from the blessings that came my way. Mm-hmm. Just make sure that you say, Lord, I give back to you. It may be time. I'm going to spend a couple hours at an infirmary, just cleaning and helping and just giving off my time. I'm going to take some kids and just give the mothers a break so they can maybe have
There's so many ways that we can give
Yes, back. I'm going to read to some shut-ins, whatever it is, just think. And do you know, when you begin to
do that,
to do those kinds of gifts to God, when you're giving that way to God,
they worship.
And it builds the community spirit.
Yeah. And that is, those are the things that I'm saying. We individually have to take responsibility for the things that you can do in your family, in your community. And that is what will shift. That is what will bring about the shift when we begin to love. And you love by serving. Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can give a love gift to God by serving His people.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So it's so, and the thing as we come up to the 7 o'clock break, it is choices. In Joshua 24, Joshua was going back through all of what God had done for them. And he said to them, okay, all of this, I've given you all of these things. So now, fear God, worship Him in total commitment. This is the message. Worship Him in total commitment. Get rid of the gods your ancestors worship on the far side of the river, talking about River Euphrates and in Egypt. You must worship God. This is a call out to us as a nation. We must fear God. We must worship Him. And we've said that worship is about your work and your service in total commitment. Get rid of the gods. We have so many gods in Jamaica that we seek to serve. Get rid of those gods and worship God alone, because He alone is due our worship. We're up on the 7 o'clock break.
Yes, I'll put you in a worship corner while we're on the break.
You're simply the best. You're simply the best.
Best FM 100.5 on your dial. Keep listening.
Are you the parent of a child living with a disability or special needs? Are you aware of the resources available to help them achieve their academic potential? Children living with disabilities in Jamaica are being engaged and allowed to blossom, thanks to the efforts of the government and its partners. Partners like the United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF. Education specialist at UNICEF Jamaica, Dr. Rebecca Tortello, was a guest on JIS Radio's online discussion program, Studio 58A, recently, where she detailed the variety of educational resources available to this unique group. We bring you an excerpt of their conversation.
I think it's more and more an area of priority. So it's something that always comes up. And I don't think that was the case 30 years ago, right? So I think that's reassuring and hopeful. And I think that as a parent, one of the things it's really important is to be an advocate for your child. And all parents are to varying degrees. But if you have any concerns or any questions, to seek help, to ask the teacher, to ask, whoever you're close to in your community, ask the clinician, the person at the clinic, and ask if there's something that concerns you, right? So that the earlier you can identify what might be an issue in the future, the better off you are at perhaps stemming that or supporting the child more optimally. So ask questions is my big, advice. And there are more resources available both online and offline than there were. Of course, information is more readily accessible.
That's true.
More freely accessible. And you have to learn to distinguish between what is real information and what is fake information. So with the more accessibility or content volume, you have to also be able to distill what is quality. And I think that schools disability issues are a cross-cutting issue across ministries. They're a cross-cutting issue across sectors, early childhood, primary, secondary. So there are mechanisms in place that if your child has a particular challenge and needs extra time at school, you can get that. So again, you ask the questions, you find out what needs to happen, and you get it done so that your child has help. And the teachers, the ministry is trying as best as it can to equip teachers to know what to do with children who learn differently in one classroom. You can't just go from 0 to 360 right away like that. You have to make small steps, and then we'll get the full distance eventually when we're ready. But we need a lot more partnerships in the sector to do this, public-private partnerships. And that it's difficult, and we're just emerging out of a pandemic. There's a war in the Ukraine. There's economic recession. There's a lot of things happening that would diminish the flow, that would, reduce the flow of funding. So as much as you can do with public-private sector partnerships or partnerships from the diaspora home back here on the island are also very important. And a lot of schools really benefit from those kinds of relationships. And there's probably a lot of schools out there doing things that we don't know about because their stories are not being told.
That's fair.
And I guess one thing I would ask you also is, if you're somebody in the rural areas, as you has mentioned before, a lot of things tend to be centralized in Kingston because that's just, unfortunately, the way things kind of have evolved in Jamaica. You go to the capital, that's where things is. In the corporate area, perhaps Montego Bay, maybe to a lesser extent, parts of Mandeville, that kind of thing. But if you're somewhere in the more rural parts of the country and you're looking for some answers or some guidance, what would you recommend in so far as creating an environment where your child can, with special needs or with a disability, can still strive and do well?
So depending on the age of your child, I would definitely say that you contact the Early Childhood Commission if it's a young child to find out what services are available in your area and to get on their radar. And then also, if it's an older child, primary, secondary, go to the special education unit and find out what services are available in your area or close by or whatever. And again, getting on their radar is the important thing. You have to be seen, heard, at the table, right? You have to make yourself known. And I think because technology is such, you can call, you can email, you can write, but you have to be persistent.
Education specialist at UNICEF Jamaica, Dr. Rebecca Tortello, speaking with host Vaughn Davis on JIS Radio's online discussion program, Studio 58A. Catch the full interview on JIS's Facebook page. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Seniors, the Ministry of Labour and Social Security is advising that the November 2022 payment under the Social Pension Program is now available for collection. Check your text messages to confirm your payment arrangements. For further information, call 876-922-8007. The Social Pension Program, caring for our elderly. A message from the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection.
Path beneficiaries. The Ministry of Labor and Social Security is updating our client information records to make it easier to get in touch with you. When you collect your benefits through JN Money, Bill Express, or Paymaster this month, please provide the officer with a working telephone number in addition to your ID and TRN. Path, advancing your family, developing Jamaica. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Yes, what's coming to the best 100 of them? In the mix with Nessa and DJ Richie. The mix comes on every Monday to Thursday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Join us as we entertain you, inform you, and educate you on everything that will keep you in the mix on Best 100 of them. Come on, have vibes.
Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
Believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3. Rush to PJ Santa Cruz and freshen up your home for Christmas. Choose from a wide range of great bedding, kitchen and bathroom curtains, mats and other accessories, decorations, lights, household paints, paintbrushes, and much more. Lots of toys for the children. God's richest blessing on your livestock and ground produce. As you purchase feeds, medication, vitamins, fertilizers, seeds, and other items. Yes, farmers, good sales for all the things you bought at PJ's Sports. So this Christmas, spend some of the money at PJ Santa Cruz. You will have no regrets.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us at 926-38666.
We are something special on the road.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Morning Connection. Even as we reflect on what has happened in the year that was, we look forward to
the year that is. It's not gone yet.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but you see, as you said, and I'm so intentional. I'm just so eager
that past intentional
to march out of 2022. It has been a very interesting year for me personally.
Have you grown past a person?
Yes, I have, sister. And especially because of you.
Oh, my goodness. I see the producer make up his face. Why you make up your face, Mr. Producer?
Just the interactions with you has forced me.
Still in the growing business.
Yes, they're continuing to grow, but I believe I've grown significantly in some areas of my life and developed other things, So it's coming up.
You know what is it's really cool that you can say that. Not many persons would just readily, say this interaction has created positive change. I'm going to say especially men. Men like to think that they got it all together and,
That is something I'm very cognizant. Yesterday, because, most people don't understand it. And even as we reflect on Lisa, who came and shared about her mental issues, we as practitioners, as counselors, we do self-care. Oh, that's one of the things that we preach. And some of the times I have to go check in with my therapist to say, hey, this is what is happening. Because you hear all of this from different persons and you're working it through. And then to go on to say, this is what is happening. And, just have a talk.
In science, it is generally accepted that, and I mean like the investigative part of science, that the subject you study is changed by your study, and what you study changes you. And there's always a trace that is left on the thing you have studied by your manipulation and interrogation of it, and it leaves a trace on you. Sometimes we're not able to recognize how much we change based on the interactions we have. And the truth of it is, what we each want to do is offer such a pure version of ourselves to the world that the impact we have is pure, and the impact that the world has on you will not contaminate you. So you want to be the source of the change.
Be
rather
self-aware.
than, yes. So like our interaction in this program, and also I say it to the callers who engage with us, those interactions have left me better.
Me too.
And I suppose that's what you were saying, that you've pushed me in the direction of really examining my faith and just a growing confidence in how I examine and express my faith. When persons interact with us, I open myself to an honest exchange that I really push to be authentic in my responses
That's
to
the word.
those who call us.
That's a word.
There's no artifice, not putting on anything. If I don't understand, I don't understand. And I always seek to find value in what people say. And it's because I start with the premise that there is value.
And that
no matter how confusing, how chaotic, how odd the choice of words might be, I start with the presumption that there is value. And it's why I am challenging the nation and those who are listening. I'm challenging you to see value and beauty in everything that God has created around you.
And that's so important, which drives me. Just I reflect on my mom. I reflect on persons who have interacted with me through the course of my life. And I'm still reflecting on people I interact with every day. I said to my wife yesterday, this particular person, this one person who I'm interacting with at church, I said, this one is a grace builder. If nothing else, it's building the grace. I don't know if you have.
You know what? I think that the government should use that phrase you've coined, and to replace violence producers, because violence producers are grace builders.
Okay.
Right away, I know what you mean when you said this one is a grace builder.
No man, people in your
yeah.
No man. It's a grace builder.
I'm just trying to imagine the government saying, and we have 300 grace builders.
but
some of whom the Prime Minister has turned over to the U.S. government so they can interdict them.
Yeah, but it's so for me, it has been authentic. That is important in terms of your parenting. I say that to parents every day. Be authentic in your parenting, and it will help you in terms of relationship with your child, because a lot of people are not authentic, and this is another parenting tip. Be authentic with your child. Let them know your feelings.
Too authentic, because that is the source of the violence. Because even as you said it, I said, no, don't be too authentic. Self-control.
No, but that's important, because
self-control is important. I think Lowell is ready to join us.
To teach, in terms of what you do, being authentic. Just saying some of the times, as you said, me no know.
Yeah, I don't know, but I will find out, because you cannot leave your child with so much of your authenticity that they realize, say, no sense. There are many children who write off their parents and say, no point me ask mommy or daddy that, because them never know anything. And children who are being well educated can see the limitations with, where their parents are. And if you are not, if you are not building yourself, and showing them how to find value even in those who are not as polished and so on, you end up with crosses. That's why you see some old people who them have children in high places, and the people are lonely, the old people lonely, nobody visit them, because their children have grown so far past them that they cannot find value and beauty in their elders. Welcome to the conversation, Mr. Producer.
Oh, thank you very much.
What drew you out?
It suddenly dawned on me that this is the last program for the year.
Don't let me cry.
It is the last program for the year.
It's the last program for the year.
Yeah, Percy said it.
And I could not remain silent. If only to say thanks, because it has been a great ride throughout this year. You talk about growth. I think, I have grown phenomenally
More skills under your belt.
Yes, spiritually, no man.
Yes.
It is just amazing.
Yeah.
I have gained so much just for being here. And you mentioned the listeners. They have contributed tremendously
to that growth.
Yes.
Please say in what particular direction, sir. I have one that I would volunteer for you if you don't say it.
Well, patience, understanding.
Yes.
I think those are two of the greatest ones. Just learn to appreciate people's point of view. Not that I did not before, but even more so, just understanding what is happening within the society. Hearing the people speak about their own experiences and just sharing and feeling with them and understanding and just trying to bridge that gap between our leaders and our people.
Can I tell you something as you say that? We visited my mom on Saturday, and she had been listening to a few of the old shows. And she said to me, I was listening to one of your program, and you know that Jamaicans are no fool, She said, I listened to the callers express themselves, and I said, that's why the government stopped the town hall meetings.
Yes.
Because they think that they're talking over us, and they're standing in the presence of people who they think they've snowed. And the natural intelligence and curiosity and the strength of character, they can't deal with it in that setting. They just want to say something to you on TV where you can't answer them back. But, she says, I listen to you talking to people, and Jamaicans are no fool.
And you fool me once, but you can't fool me twice. So, and I tell people all the time, you remember the story I keep sharing about that man and him donkey
so
with
nobody
the army.
Share it again.
With the army. I'm just saying there is a natural wisdom and intelligence in Jamaicans that we just take for granted. I said they don't have no sense, but they can look at issues and they quickly go to what is the
heart of it.
The heart of it.
Yeah.
They're not into the...
But I love it that Lowell has emphasized the patience. And when we started the show, he had a clock on us. You remember?
Yes.
Yeah, Lowell would say, you have to callers are and give us the wrap-up signal. And I've watched you first interact with the people yourself and realize that sometimes you got to put away the clock. And I've just kind of watched you develop a rhythm in how you just manage our engagement with the callers so that the good sense of what they're saying, you can get their opinion because there's an opinion in there. And yeah, with if I had the professional training of some who can really excavate what a person is saying out of all kind of mud and mire, I mean, we would have an even greater time.
But it's interesting you say professional training. But the truth is, that is not something you get in school.
I feel a compliment coming on.
No, it's not. I'm telling you. It is not. A lot of people go to school and they are still clueless.
Tell me about
as far as that is concerned. No empathy. They cannot relate to people. They really can't. And they are trained.
Well, I met a young anthropologist the other day who said that as an anthropologist, I have many tools to excavate the information from. So I say, you can get tools. I study anthropology.
You're boy, I simply just talk to you, ask you a question, you answer me, and I'm good.
Yes, but she said she has a way of extracting information. And I should say a quick hello to her. This is the young lady who did the documentary on Beverly Manley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Miss Powell.
Yes, Miss Powell. Mrs. Powell? Miss Powell?
Miss Powell.
Miss. And she just has a really very gentle, kind of, as she says, she uses non-invasive techniques
Yes,
to pull out. Yeah. I mean, I've done lots of cross-examination of
Not me, not me.
of witnesses, of guilty parties. Now, I've done cross-examination, and the truth of it is, even when I was a student and just learning the craft at Norman Manley Law School, I was pretty good at cross-examination. That was before I even ever entered a courtroom. So you might be right. There are some natural.
Yeah,
No, I'm telling you.
Some natural skills there.
But you guys joking said to me all the time, "By Percy there investigating the person. Oh, you do it."
Lord Percy just fast.
That's
Let
what
me
you put it
tell
like.
you, Pastor Percival fast. There's nothing delicate or non-invasive about his technique. He might ask you blank right out there. So
like that.
Just so. Yeah.
And it's the truth.
But you know, my brother,
That's pastors, right? They respond out of shock.
I've watched him grow.
Yeah, Pastor
I've watched him
Percival.
grow, yes.
You know, when he came here, he was 5'9". I think he's 6 feet now.
I will not say, you know,
In what direction?
not on national radio.
All right, he lost some belly. We'll say it.
I've lost some belly. Because it's been intentional.
He gave up some guts.
And gained some guts?
I mean,
He gave up.
Or you lost the guts with the belly?
He gave up guts and got glory.
He's thinking about it.
Not think about it, you know, because if anything in Jamaica, then you have to have guts to live in Jamaica. So that's how it is. But, you know, really, for the persons we have interacted with, and I never knew personally that my voice was that distinctive in terms of going into
recognizable.
Places, going into places. I've related to you.
Yes.
And people pointing at me and said, "I know you." I said, "You don't know me." I said, "Yeah, man. I listen to this. You are the person on the program." And I'm saying, "Okay, all right." But beyond that, it is that we are challenging mindsets.
Yeah.
Causing people to think again about some of the issues that are there. And for me as a pastor, one of the things is to tell people that God gave it to you when He created you. I have to go back to beginnings. He gave you responsibility for your life and for your decision, and you can make choices.
Always a choice.
You can make choices, you know. And so I'm grateful. I count it a privilege to be in your ears for us in the morning. And just
it really is a privilege. And let's just go back to a point I was saying. In science, it is an accepted thing. The things you study, the things you interact with, they leave a mark on you, and you leave a mark on them. Now, in radio, the ones who get to leave the mark are the ones who call. So build up your spirit and call. I spoke with one of our listeners, and you know yourself. Good morning to you. Thank you for taking the time. He says we draw him out. And, you know, he was just admiring the intellectual discourse. And, you know, I said, call. He says, no, he's not going to call. But I hope that you call, because you will have an impact
on us.
And the
people are listening.
And those who listen.
Yes.
And it is the positive impact of the sharing is what we want to expand.
It is important. And I'm saying, if you even don't want to call, you can at least type out a little message.
Like
go on
they keep
social
me busy
media,
reading,
type something. It is important for us to get the feedback, you know. And I am looking, you know, at a even more fantastic year in 2023. You know,
we're pressing forward.
A lot is going to be happening. You know, I just want people to stay tuned, because certainly we intend to do new things, you know. Well, enhance. Let me not say new, because you certainly don't want to throw away something that is working for you. What you want to do is to enhance it. And certainly that is what we're going to be seeking to do.
All right. For the next 2 minutes, I'm going to invite your input on an issue that so this morning, you and I were talking about, well, first, the Prime Minister has delivered a list of names to Washington. I know on this program, I definitely have raised it.
Sorry,
yes.
Before you do that,
all right, we'll need more time.
I want to talk about Lloyd, our engineer.
Ah!
Yes, we can't leave out Lloyd.
Give him a microphone.
Lloydie. No, man, talk to us.
He shook
Let
his
me-
head. Didn't I tell you in the break? I said we need to put a camera on Lloyd because Lloyd left the camera on us
Well,
while we were busy fiddling.
One is on him now. Wave, Lloydie.
I said the thing this morning.
All right, you and Lloyd share room, so you tell me what's been going on with Lloyd.
No,
except
man.
that
Let
I
me
just
tell you,
love his spirit.
Lloyd is a solid guy. Very quiet. You don't hear him speak a lot. Solid, dependable. Dependable.
Yeah,
He was
I'm telling
initiative.
you.
I remember the time.
I mean,
Lloyd was sick.
The time he gets here in the mornings for a man who don't drive. Even when bus strike,
Don't give away
taxi
his
strike.
secret.
Probably can't
Lloyd
just
is
land in a
here.
vehicle.
And
No,
there's
he don't
nothing
drive.
that you ask him to do that is within his power ability
Yeah.
that he will not do.
Remember, Lloyd was my first engineer who
Yes.
went up to SOS. You remember Lloyd? Went up to the, we
And,
still have that relationship. You,
know,
gotta visit them again.
I've
Went up
got
to the
I've got to say
SOS
this to you.
Children's
I
Village with
listen to him
us.
when he answers the phone.
Yes.
In the initial stages, was a little bit,
brusque.
Yeah.
Is the word. Good morning. What you said? Morning
Then,
connection.
yes, I hear the changes taking place, and he's becoming a little more refined. And,
But he's now saying morning connection.
Yes.
Good morning.
More power
You have to sound like Eden.
And the choice of
Everybody
music
was
is great. I know he wants to tell us that this is time to break right now. Time to break right now.
We'll be right back.
We will be right back.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
Believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Half a tree, one and drive. Bossy, how you do I take taxi start?
Chano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose your problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Try calling him, cause trust me.
What a relief.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Lady Lee, the Queen of the South, and I'm inviting you all to trailblaze with me on the best of the best radio station, the Best 100 FM, Mondays through Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. You can't afford to miss it on your airwaves. Yes, trailblaze with Lady Lee right here, Mondays to Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. on the best of the best, Best 100 FM.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on the Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning, welcome back.
Back to the Love Fest. Don't try to get serious.
No, the Love Fest. We were highlighting it in the break about this young man who has written the book.
But that's not you started to say, man.
Yes, I was gonna. Right. I'm past that. Bring me back even further into
we're not going
into the midst of time.
The midst of time. I thought we were talking.
We're gonna circle. We're circle that back.
Circle back again.
Yeah, we're going to.
Yeah.
No, this morning I was commenting on the Prime Minister's bold efforts, and it's something we had spoken about here, that we have these agreements for technical cooperation in security between the Americans, the Jamaicans, UK, British. Everybody, right? But you typically see Jamaicans being extradited, or you see it flowing out of Jamaica one way, or their foreign law enforcement agencies are running operations on the ground in Jamaica. I myself have seen members of the DEA present in the police station when things are going down in times gone by when I did certain type of work. So you know that these facilities are there, and they're not one way. They are really exchange programs. So I was always concerned that Jamaica did not seem to be using those avenues to deal with the guns coming in and even the criminal influence from offshore that comes in. So finally, our Prime Minister has delivered a list of names to Washington.
Persons who live in the States.
Persons in the States who are fueling crime and violence in Jamaica. I applaud him for it. Yes.
When he did that, when he went on his
when he went on the 5-day visit to Washington. So I said, that's good. It's good that he has done it, and he says we should see something happening shortly. He was tight-lipped on it. But that action does not require state of emergency. That's something that you should be doing all the time, and you can do it. So we were just looking back at state of emergency. A fresh state of emergency has been declared in several parishes, including my beloved St. Anne and
when that happened, the last 14 days.
Yes, like earlier this week.
Yeah, again?
Yes.
So the 14 finish and another 14
and another 14 start, and it is just rolling along like Old Man River. No, you don't even hear comment about it. It's just, he called a press conference, I think, Tuesday, Wednesday, and announced it, and we're rolling right along. So I said, how is it that a suspension of fundamental rights and freedoms in a large section of the country, now you're just doing it by rote, nobody's saying anything. Where are we in terms of, the emotional cycle of things? And I was saying to Lowell, boy, it looks like it don't really matter anymore when you can be in a perpetual state of emergency and nobody is even. So I started to read like what was being said, and Lloyd Distant, who chairs the Crime Monitoring Committee, was quoted as saying that he was heartened by the numbers are still disappointing, but he was heartened by the reduced incidents of murders in December. And as speaking for the PSOJ, the Prime Minister needs to just continue doing what he's doing, sort of, as if we're just so desperate for any kind of relief that it doesn't matter what strategy is used. Then in today's paper, there's a letter by someone from Canada, saying Jamaica should rename. It should no longer be called state of emergency, because in countries where they understand real emergencies, when they hear that Jamaica is under a state of emergency, they envision rioting in the streets and they envision real emergency. And it's just bad PR to be calling what we're doing state of emergency. Maybe there's some other name for it, and he thinks Jamaica should rename it, which I think is what the Prime Minister has in mind with his Enhanced Security Measures Act. But state of emergency under our Constitution is a suspension of fundamental rights and freedoms, is a suspension of constitutionally guaranteed rights for the citizens in the areas that are covered by it. That's what it is.
Isn't it? Are we on the road to being a totalitarian regime or a police state?
Either Nazi, fascist, whatever it is, all the different extreme words can be called in reference to how we are handling this problem. But I'm doing all of that to bring it to El Salvador. El Salvador has been under 9 months state of emergency, being extended month on month, like what the PM is doing with the fortnight by fortnight extension. But the problems in El Salvador they are of a different order.
Two gangs,
the Barrio 18 and the MS 13, have extorted money from nearly everyone and taken violent revenge against those who don't pay the gangs. And that has been going on for decades.
Yes.
So rule of law abandoned. Police and law enforcement capabilities exhausted and out the window.
Until
they have counted some 70,000 members for these two gangs. In 2019, Bukele was elected as their president. A very young-looking man with his polo cap turned back way.
Like him understand the issues.
He began sealing off certain sectors of Salvadoran cities earlier this year. So he started it in 2022. Surrounding them with police and soldiers who check anyone entering or leaving. He requested that Congress grant him the extraordinary powers after gangs were blamed for 62 killings in just one day. On March 26th. 62 people dead. March 26th. Having imposed that state of emergency, they have arrested more than 60,000 people. Now, the gangs have 70,000 members. And they have arrested more than 60,000 people under the measures. They have suspended the right of association because, in every democratic society, you have freedom of association.
Yes.
They have suspended the right of association, which is really where you catch the gangs because it is the associating with each other that makes a gang. Something that in the cases we've brought before the court, we've not been good at showing the association, oddly enough. So he has suspended, which means no gathering on the corner. They probably said maybe 2 or 3 persons.
Yes.
Gathering on the corner. They have also suspended the right to be informed of the reason for an arrest.
And access to a lawyer.
And access to a lawyer has been suspended. So this is like the Patriot Act in the US where they just throw you in a dark cell.
Just came out 20.
The government also can intervene in the telephone calls, so freedom of communication gone, and intercept your mail of anyone it considers a suspected gang member, and possibly the bar to show that you suspect and that person is very low. And the time someone can be held without charges has been extended from 3 days to 15 days. Jamaica try get all 40 days. People have been held for 177 days, 451 days.
And it's interesting, 3 to 15 days.
That's the extension.
But they've been releasing, so it's like...
Yeah. Now, on to how the human rights activists are dealing with it. The country's human rights official, Raquel Caballero, said 2,100 people have been released after arrest because they had no ties to the street gangs. 60,000 they have arrested, and only 2,100. So their strike rate seemed to be quite high. No doubt, good policing. The man is seeking to be re-elected, and his approval ratings run at 90%. He is being lauded for the crackdown against gangs because it's effective.
Yes.
Because I'm doing them work.
They're
Them
doing
not
the
just
work.
holding paper, building case.
And he says, I don't care what the international organizations say. They can come and take the gang members. If they want them, we will give them all of them. And then comes the question, how do the Salvadorans feel about it? They quote a lawyer and political analyst as saying, people at this moment are not going to listen to anything about human rights, anything about democracy or authoritarianism. What they are interested in is their safety and the opportunity to live a free life.
Yeah.
This lawyer supports it, but here's the difference.
Are we like that in Jamaica? Because I was asking, the reason I went through all of that, I was asking, all these things are just a gone so.
Yeah, but
are we there?
But a question that we could ask, does this president in any way have any links to any gangs historically?
Well, it don't seem so because
that is a very
from 2019 he's been in office.
No, I want to ask that question.
Yes, you're talking about the corruption in high places here.
The corruption in high places and the perception because
you're talking about the JLP having a relationship or touted as such with one Don or whatever, and the PNP having a relationship.
With
so
the Klansman.
that's what you're talking about.
That is one of the challenges because if we could,
you see what he's saying?
No man, I hear what he's saying.
Because and that is why because people are saying, okay, it's beginning to bear fruits for them, and there's not any perception that he's doing it for one side. Because remember, one of the trials that have happened, people are saying, so in Spanish Town, it's two gangs operate. It's two gangs that have operated historically in Spanish Town. Landsman, one order. The question that people are asking is, why is there not another trial going on with that? Because again, it's perception, and people keep asking that. I'm not being political or anything,
Yes.
That's a real question that a lot of people are asking us, are asking themselves too.
I want to approach it from a different standpoint.
That's all right.
Yes, I see what's happening in El Salvador, right?
Yeah.
If we don't deal with what's happening internally, and that is within the security forces, within the political directorate, we are going nowhere fast.
But that's what I'm saying.
Because half of the times when a raid is going to take place, the criminals know long before. Because their cronies who are in these organizations tell them.
Because remember,
funny you say that. One of the quotes from the El Salvador situation is, the gangs were caught by surprise. They weren't expecting it. They were caught unaware, and they rounded almost all of them up.
And that's what you have to do.
That's what you're talking
so
about.
If you don't deal with the corruption within, you can't do that effectively.
That's what I'm saying. So remember, people who have listened to Renato Adams, when he's going on a raid, you don't know him just come in and say, I want all of the phones.
But what kind of raid can be public knowledge? Raid by the very term is surprise action.
No, but because if you have a cell phone...
No, I'm not denying what you're saying. What you're saying is appropriate to how you approach it.
Yeah.
You can't do a raid and telegraph it.
Which is what would happen.
Let me tell you, even the Prime Minister saying, I have given a list of names to Washington is too much information.
Yeah, but
unless, of course, he's saying it knowing that all of the men...
No, they're eager to show that you're doing something. So you're going to say something.
Yeah. So because once you say it, you have telegraphed to the people, go into hiding.
It is more PR than going after the real issues that they are. What do you think? It's more, we're trying...
A lot of what they do is PR. We know that.
Because, all right, you notice recently there is another major drug fine on the seas. What about the one that happened at
the airport?
At Ian Fleming? We have not heard anything about it.
Well, I am taking the view that they are working hard, and we're going to get some big news.
We're going to get some big fish going to get caught.
Yes, man. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
All right. They all stop laughing at me.
No, we're not stop laughing. I am hopeful. I am thinking the best.
You
But
know,
I'm saying these
I'm
are some of the
thinking some
reasons.
more about that El Salvadorian situation.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, I understand a situation where I say, you know something, I'm prepared to give up some of my freedoms right now in order to get a solution to this thing. But what I am afraid of is the fact that innocent people in our situation are the ones who are being caught up in this. A lot of them.
Yeah, and that comes from the history of just mistrust and broken trust. You see, Percy's point was really critical there. This man leading his country on that path, clearly he has credibility. That's why the ratings are so high.
Yes.
Jamaica right now, we are looking to say, well, all right, you want to deal with that, but you haven't dealt with that. How can I be confident that what you're doing over here will bear fruit when I can see the absence of fruitfulness in something that is right on your table?
Well, you know the problem I have?
Yeah.
I have been caught up in the system, the corrupt system.
Yes. So
you cannot expect me to speak in any when you have not done anything to even make right the wrong that you have done to me.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm saying, until I see the change start to take place and people start to reach out to those who they have done wrong, apologize, do the right thing. Until you do that, and I'm not talking about me right now, I'm talking about others. You're talking about the youngster who died in prison and them only get $2.4 million for his life. You talk about persons who have gotten lost in the system for 40 odd years. And many more like that.
Yeah. You need to do a Zacchaeus.
Right? Until you start to deal with those issues and let people see that, yes, boy, I have repented, right? And I want to do the right thing. Start doing the right thing and make people see it. Then you will win their confidence and then they will work alongside you in order to solve the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And that is, and
so that's the difference between El Salvador and Jamaica.
And we have to be intentional.
El Salvador can run a 9-month-long state of emergency because people see it's having impact. They saw what the problem was. And they see that those who are in charge of the process have
not
credibility.
Corrupted. Are not corrupted.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but right now, too many people are saying, yeah, but where is the statutory filing that should be published, the statutory declaration for the Prime Minister. We're still asking, why has the DPP ruled in this way or that way on this issue instead of, and that issue we're seeing too many disconnects in the system.
As your mother said, Jamaican people are not fools.
Yeah.
Jamaican people are not fools. Jamaican people are not fools. As somebody said, then take with a fool. And that is from top to bottom in the society. A lot of people are looking at it and saying, the little man saying, they take you a fool. You go into the middle class, they take you a fool. You go to people who are even government and in private sector, looking at it, they said they take you a fool. So we're not fools.
Oh boy.
Yeah. How did we move from the love fest into that?
Because if you love, you will do right.
Love the country. That's why we talk like this.
Yeah. And you see, talk about loving country. People like us have had chances to migrate. I've told you about my mom not doing it.
Yes.
But even subsequent to that, I had the opportunity to go overseas. Other people I know, we have stuck here because they said Jamaica is ours to build it. Because that question has crossed my mind. But even recently, some people that I know who I thought would not leave, them signaling to me, then gone. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. They've reached a point. I'm talking about professionals like myself who have come to the point and said, no.
I met someone the other day in the supermarket and we were talking, a little journalism chat. Mm-hmm. And he said to me that he's just given up. And for the first time, and this man is in his early 60s, you would say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Early 60s?
Very early.
Yeah, he says for the first time he's looking at opportunities to leave.
At 63?
Early 60s. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you get 3.
No, when you get 3. Me say early.
Oh,
Early could have
anything
been
after
61.
3 is not early.
Early. I said, but, and the question comes into, and go where? One of the reasons, I mean, all of us, I think the 3 of us here could have left Jamaica at different points in our life,
Yeah,
whether
man,
for
long time.
work-related opportunities or just out of curiosity. I have lived abroad, first to study and then work-related opportunity. And it's exciting for a period because here's what I found. There is a point at which you are relieved to not carry the weight of what's happening in your country, in your consciousness. When you read the papers, when you hear the news, and there's a relief of saying, well, it's their country. And you don't have to be burdened by it because, I know I carry the weight of what's happening in my country all the time.
All the time.
But then you get to a point, maybe a year in, where you see things happening in the place you're living now that require change, and you have no impact. And you're feeling like, oh, well, I'm an outsider here. My voice, what does it care? Who cares what I think? Because you don't belong. And I lived in a place where the word belonger had meaning. And I said, your best place to be is in an environment where you can have impact, where your voice and your ideas matter, where you have a right to speak and be heard on certain things. So I wanted to be in my own country, and I knew that I would not leave Jamaica to go live somewhere else, visit for a spell, but I'm not leaving Jamaica. So that said, where would you go now if you really got fed up? And like when Carousel was torn down, for the first time I reviewed my decision and like, could we really just go somewhere else where you could build a business and not feel like you're targeted? But I've noticed that all around the world, things are happening within the same vein of what you're running from.
Of course.
And when you are a visitor, an alien in somebody else's place, you are not, if you have a brain and a heart, you're not going to be satisfied with just being one of the many to be ignored. On the 12th of December, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution on the question of the British Virgin Islands imbroglio with the UK. The decision taken by the UK to return them to some kind of direct rulership. I've not heard Jamaica through our foreign affairs ministry or otherwise. You don't even hear
that there's such a resolution.
Even Caribbean people talking about it.
What would they say?
We must speak against it. We must add our voice to it. Except for, on this program.
But we still have the Queen. We are now swearing to the kings. So what are we going to talk about?
We must put ourselves in a position to speak about it. And
but remember.
Are you saying we should say nothing?
Put the plank out of your eye first.
But are you saying we should say nothing?
I'm not saying that we shouldn't say nothing.
No, we're saying no. So we're saying something now.
Yeah.
Even though our foreign affairs minister and government is not saying anything. They're bringing it to the people.
No, I am agreeing with what you're saying, But I'm saying I can understand why. Because they identify with it. They identify with it.
All right. So now you have to talk about to what extent your foreign affairs policy reflects the will, the best interest of the people. Not the individuals who are crafting it and who may lack the backbone or the spine or the brain power to move the official position from one place of inefficiency to a higher plane. All of these are the things that we are going to be contending with in 2023, because even as we open up the consciousness of our listeners and we are pressing for things, and we ourselves might migrate to a different platform to push our advocacy, the rest of Jamaicans need to be stirred up about these issues. We can't ever feel that our situation is so dire that we don't have space in our heart, in our consciousness, to look at what's happening elsewhere.
Love for neighbor.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Well, you know, first we need to get familiar with our foreign policy to see what it says, to understand how we are covered by it. We have seen things happen within the society where the representative did not do a proper job, as far as I'm concerned, in protecting the citizen. And so it is important for people to understand the foreign policy.
Remember the ships?
And how it affects each and every one of us.
Remember the ships? Remember, even recently with Colombia, all of those things. Remember all of those things, yeah.
Are you familiar with the words order in council?
You
remember I told you?
Yeah.
Or the constitution that Jamaica currently uses is the product of an order in council.
It released us
from yes, direct the same thing that they're trying to put BVI under, right? When the Queen sits, or it was the Queen for us, it's King Charles for them.
For us
when
too.
she sits in council, or the monarch sits in council, various orders are made which affect their possessions throughout the world. I didn't think I'd see this in my lifetime. The United Kingdom has passed an order in council reserving the right to impose direct rule on the people of the British Virgin Islands at its discretion. So
being the head of Jamaica, what would stop them from doing the same thing here?
Well, that's why I'm raising it, my brother, because just like how the BVI have a governor, and Turks and Caicos had a governor, and Anguilla had a governor, Jamaica have a governor general.
That's the same thing. So you can do order.
It can happen here.
Wow. On that note, it's 8 o'clock break.
Yes. And the way they got it done in the BVI was the same thing we are.
Best FM 100.5 on your dial. Keep listening.
Hello, I'm Chris Barrow with the BBC News. The Ukrainian government says Russia has launched a new wave of missile attacks from land and sea across the country. Power supplies have been disrupted in the capital, Kiev. Hugo Bashega is there.
It was one of the largest Russian airstrikes on Ukraine in the war. For almost 5 hours, the entire country was on alert. The Ukrainian Air Force said the missiles were launched by air and sea and targeted cities in all regions. Explosions were heard in Kharkiv, Odessa and Lviv, where 90% of the city was without power. In Kiev, the mayor said a business and a playground were damaged. Officials say dozens of missiles were shot down by air defense and that drones were also used in the attack.
Reports from Belarus say a Ukrainian anti-aircraft missile has fallen into Belarusian territory. The defense ministry in Belarus says it's investigating whether its air defense system had shot down the S-300 rocket or if it was a misfire. The Ukrainian authorities haven't commented. Earlier, a Ukrainian military spokesman said Moscow's attack had involved at least 64 missiles, including S-300s. At least 16 people are now known to have been killed in a huge fire at a casino hotel in northwest Cambodia. Dozens are still missing. Here's Laura Bicker.
Dramatic images of the fire show the Grand Diamond City Casino consumed by flames and rescuers attempting to help people from a burning ledge. Thailand's public broadcaster reported that dozens of people were trapped inside. More than 30 of the injured from the blaze have been transferred to hospitals across the border. There are a number of casinos clustered along the Cambodian border, where it's become a popular destination for visitors from Thailand, where most forms of gambling are illegal.
The Inspector General of Nigeria's police force has ordered the suspension of an officer, Drambi Vandi, who allegedly shot and killed a woman in Lagos on Christmas Day. The police said there had been a speedy investigation. Rissa Walker reports.
The victim, Bolanle Arahim, said to be pregnant, was reportedly shot in her car in Lagos while she and her family members were returning home from a Christmas Day church service. Nigerians are still horrified over the brutal killing of the female lawyer. in one of many incidents of police brutality and extrajudicial killings that could resurrect the memories of the nationwide protest by many young Nigerians, which culminated in the EndSARS movement of October 2020.
Aid workers in the Darfur region of Sudan say at least 8 people have been killed during overnight clashes between rival communities. Shooting first broke out in Zalingi town, then Arab Rizagat gunmen on motorbikes stormed a camp for displaced people from the Fur ethnic group. Outbreaks of violence have increased since last year's withdrawal of a UN peacekeeping mission. World news from the BBC. The most religious and hardline government in Israel's history is to be sworn in later. The alliance, led by Benjamin Netanyahu, includes ultra-Orthodox Jewish and nationalist parties and has stirred domestic and international unease. This will be a record 6th term in office for Mr. Netanyahu. He stressed that he will promote tolerance and pursue peace, but his coalition partners have been outspoken in their opposition to Palestinian statehood and minority rights. Australia has approved a request to extradite a former US Marine pilot accused of training Chinese counterparts in South Africa more than a decade ago. Daniel Duggan is an Australian citizen who renounced his American citizenship. From Sydney, Phil Mercer reports.
Daniel Duggan faces 4 charges in the United States, including money laundering and conspiracy to export defence services to Beijing. His legal team says extraditing the former US Marine pilot would be a miscarriage of justice. His arrest in the state of New South Wales coincided with warnings from Australia and Britain about former defence personnel training Chinese fighter pilots.
Conservation officials in Malaysia say a pygmy elephant has gored its handler to death at a sanctuary on the island of Borneo. The handler, Joe Lansu, was treating an injured calf when an adult elephant attacked him. Vatican officials say the former Pope, Benedict XVI, remains in a serious but stable condition a day after Pope Francis asked Roman Catholics to pray for his predecessor. The Italian news agency ANSA says the 95-year-old is being continually monitored by doctors. Cardinal Vincent Nichols, the Archbishop of Westminster in London, said Vatican officials had told him the angels are gathering to take Benedict home. In 2013, Benedict became the first pope in nearly 600 years to retire. BBC News.
Seniors, the Ministry of Labour and Social Security is advising that the November 2022 payment under the Social Pension Programme is now available for collection. Check your text messages to confirm your payment arrangements. For further information, call 876-922-8007. The Social Pension Programme, caring for our elderly. A message from the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Yes, what's coming to the best 100 of them? United Mix with Nessa and DJ Richie. The mix comes on every Monday to Thursday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Join us as we entertain you, inform you, and educate you on everything that will keep you in a mix on the best 100 of them. Come on, up by yourself.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
from anywhere at all. You can call us on 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Half a tree, one and drive. Bossy. How do I take taxi start?
Chano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and then diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Try calling her, cause trust me.
What a relief.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Legally, the queen of the South, and I'm inviting you on the trailblaze with me on the best of the best radio station, the Best 100 FM, Mondays through Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. You can't afford to miss it on your airwaves. Yes, Trailblaze with Lady Lee right here, Mondays to Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. on the best of the best, Best 100 FM. Yeah.
This is your beloved Pastor Percy from the Morning Connection. Support our commitment to Jamaica by joining us on Wednesday mornings at 7:30 when we pray for the nation. Show us you care. Advertise with us. For more information, call our offices at 876-276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on the Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning and welcome back. So on this free-flowing Thursday, we are in-house and we are taking calls, 876-279-8473 and 876-619-1508. Those are the numbers on which you can reach us, and we are pleased to have the producer online with us because, as he said, well, Percy said it too, the significance that this is the last show of 2022 dawned on all of us. So it's a party in here. And Lloyd, one of our listeners, says, keep up the good work. Let me get it right. Keep up the good work. Da, 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 da. Thank you, Best FM. Really appreciate you all. From Jacqueline Biggs, who we love so much. Miss Jackie, keep listening. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning.
Oh, brother Georgie Porgy. I love it that
King
you're
George.
the first caller.
Georgie pardon, pudding and spice.
Kiss the girl and make them cry.
I'm not taking it that far here.
Yeah, man.
When the boys came out to play Georgie Porgy Run Away. Well, you know that thing that age, you know.
Hey, I'm going to tell them one book named Nola on the farm.
And he had Percy. And Percy, the chick was in
Percy was on the farm.
Nola on the farm.
Yes, but wasn't Percy on Nola's farm?
No security there, whatever them. Our ranger.
Pray their larcenist. Rob poor Nola. All right, we're taking serious things.
You know, one of the things that I understand in life, and you know, you have to be with a group of people that, you know, it doesn't matter how things tough, we must still put on a smile.
True.
You understand? There's a song where they say, why somewhat screw face. And man, I say him not say anything to smile about to what's going on in a situation. But you know, we can't get out of this situation, you know. Because number one, we have to understand why we get in this situation, why we are there, and how we can escape the situation.
Sure.
You understand me?
Yeah.
So we have to look into those things and see where we live and how we deal with people. You have some people, it is just all right. You don't want somebody that anytime you see them, they say, no, sir, I don't want to brother. You don't know who dead. You don't want to see them, the people that, and them always walk you up, Jesus Christ. You don't want to see them,
Oh, my Lord.
Lord have mercy. Me don't want to book up them person and you talk to some of them and say, you know, said John dead last night.
Oh, geez.
That's all them bring it up, that message. They must say, really now.
So you are saying, George, that it's important the friends that you keep. Because they will bring you up or down. So you have to be intentional about that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody who can encourage you. All right. Me here, my friend, them want to say, why I want to get rich and then say, oh, yeah, that. Why now some friend have money, we like shake them man, Just that him say, And me say, so what about the man and have no money? Every day them get up, boy, I rub their hand, me go, boy, nothing go on. Nothing go on, father. They need to get out of that habit, man. You understand me? Go there and do something. You understand? Everybody has say look bags, everybody do look thing. If you ever hear some people's story that become doctors and lawyers, all them
Inspirational.
Yes, the inspiration you have to learn to there for work or school.
Okay.
You understand me? I walk come back and to them now, you kill out when young boy was here, them company show and them talk. What them have each other driving up in a truck back to come to school or go UA. Because some of them live far.
Yeah.
So people have a lot can write. Them can write a book and talk about the situation and their journey to where they are.
So George,
there's a man now, he must be the commissioner of police in Canada.
Okay.
And he's a Jamaican,
Yeah, we know. He lost his word though. But George, what are your words as we close out? Because we have another caller as we close out 2022 and move into 2020. What are your words of inspiration to us as Jamaicans?
My inspiration is that everybody, we must have more love.
Okay.
More love in the community, more love for people. You understand me?
Okay.
And people must be healthy, take them medicine, take them roots and big up themselves, right? And the crime plan, I hope they can find a better crime plan because the violence is not so nice.
Okay.
It's not so nice.
So those are your
let us hope for the best.
All right,
sir.
Thank you, George.
So
Thanks
much
for calling.
Okay, all right.
There's another call. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Hello.
Good morning and welcome.
We'll speak to the producer. Good morning.
He's on line.
Yes, go right ahead, sir, please. Good morning.
Yeah, this is not on the air, right?
Yeah.
You're on here.
You're on air.
You're on air. You don't want to be on air?
No.
All right, hold on.
Take that call. Take back that call, Lloyd. And then Lowell will deal with it privately.
But it is interesting.
I want to share with you what Earl Brown is saying because we love Earl.
Yes.
Good morning, Minute Lawrence, Pastor Palmer, Mr. Lawrence. It is a pleasure knowing all of you on air. Your program is one of the best coming out of Jamaica. May 2023 bring blessings abundantly. God bless. And we wish you the same too, Mr. Earl. We love it how you send us notes and videos and encourage
Yes, man,
us.
and encouragement. Blessings to you.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Sir. How are you?
To you both, the team, the station, and all the listeners.
Thank you very much.
I'm well enough. I'm not complaining too much. But we need to, if what we are seeing or hearing,
yes,
and thinking, if it doesn't set off an alarm for us to arm ourselves to tackle the situation. So generally, we need to, moving into the new year,
yes,
we need to find ourselves in a situation where we make a serious attempt to do better for ourselves, our families, and the community and all of those who we come into contact with, particularly where we earn a bread.
Okay.
There's lots of opportunities there. We need to seek them out. We need to think, plan, and act. Right? And get more productive at whatever we can situation we can find ourselves in.
True.
Right? Production. That's what the country needs. And we need to zero in it to feed ourselves and feed ourselves properly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. And you know, even as we talk about feeding ourselves properly, we've talked about food security for humans, and right now the livestock are having a problem.
Yes. With feed, with grain, with feed supply.
And they're our food. Yeah, let me tell you.
Emergency arrangements.
Yeah.
We were sort of off balance before February. But since February, anywhere you look, you can see that there are going to be problems with the supply chain.
Yes, yeah.
So you need to take action to back up your contingency to deal with that.
So
do we have a government?
I'm you're gonna chew that one over as you go into the new year.
All right.
Yeah, the one that look like it miss me not on it, a twiddle and twaddle all around the place. Right? Imagine you going abroad to make announcement about what you're telling foreign powers to deal with whatever criminal situation.
Yeah.
What sense that make? Something you should keep secret.
Yeah, that's some of us are thinking that for sure.
Yeah, well, all of us should be thinking that, right? Any talk you talk about, you say, hey, look, in the last 2 months we catch 100 of them, we lock them up. You know?
Yes,
and look here.
Yeah.
We're putting them before the court in short order.
Yeah.
We need an emergency plan for that.
Yes, we rather than thinking about detaining people indefinitely, we should be seeking to get them before the court as quickly as possible. So,
put in a special court. I was suggesting to make about this murder business. I don't want to hear it here, right?
Yes.
But I'd have come. Well, you need some time to think it over. But January 1 is only a couple of days.
It's only a couple of days away.
But all Fools Day, give us about a 90-day travel journey. We need to do something. We need, not an all Fools Day. April 2.
All right, Jigsaw. All right.
Yeah. So I want to commend yourselves and all who are participating in giving us a hearing and keeping us up to date. But the challenge is out there. We have things to do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is all hands on deck. Has to be. Thank you very much and for participating in the program, giving the helpful suggestions and keeping us motivated. We appreciate it.
Morning, Kyle.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
You too.
Jigsaw.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning, my lady.
Good morning, Enlighten. How are you, sir?
Good morning, sir.
How was the Christmas one?
It was good, you know. It was rather special for me. Spent it with my father-in-law, who is 81, and then I spoke to his father, which was 104. So it was special for me.
Okay.
How was yours?
Yeah, man, I spent some time with family, man. My daughter came home from America and my grandkids came.
Okay, all right.
So you got some love.
Yes, man.
Yeah, man, we had a nice family get together and thing, yeah. Yeah, man. No, I went to on the street for the Christmas. I think it was the day before. I think it was Friday or Thursday, one of them days. And boy, what I'm seeing on the street, boy, I'm concerned. You know, it makes me think about where is this country going. You know, because I see so much people selling, and I see the desperation and the faces of the people. We have to take a different approach to how we operate in this country. You know. We can't have so many of our citizens just living and hustling. The type of hustling that I see people trying to make a living, it it concerns me, you know. Really, really concerns me. Okay, I see so much people selling all the same buyers. From wondering what type of living those people are making with this type of liquid unknown business. And if we continue to create a society like that, when we get to that violence, you know, people, because when people hungry, you know, man, they're prone to all kind of violent activity, you know.
Sounds like you're not in agreement with the new PSOJ's head suggestion that expanding the economy means expanding the special economic zones activity that is really an enclave of outward-looking production. There has to be a...
But listen, this expansion where them going in piecemeal thing where the thing that's coming down to the people is just a little trickle down.
So that's my question to you now. What kind of expansion to the
call it the real economy?
To the real economy. What these persons who you see hustling, what other activities could they be engaged in? Whether we're looking at their skill, their education level, what could they be doing?
Yeah, there's vast amount of land, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the government have vast amount of land.
Yes.
They could engage those people to farming and agro-processing, you know.
Well, so agro-processing I like.
You have factories that producing those the and exporting the goods that they produce, and so the people can make money, you know. Because these are anything that we produce in this country that we can export, you know.
Well, I mean, look, just now when the other caller was on, we were talking about the shortage, the ongoing shortage of feed stock for our livestock.
Right.
And
when those people into farming to produce corn for the animals and things like that,
or even some level of processing that, because one of the reasons they said there was a shortage is because local feed manufacturers experience shortage in supplies of some critical ingredients that they import.
Yes, more of importation thing is a problem.
Yeah. You know, one could really look at our import bill and look at the things that we could manufacture locally, things we can make locally, and see how we close that gap. Because I think even if you had to pay a little bit more for the
security. Security.
Those farmers who are watching their animals die would have paid more.
Yeah.
If I will come man with a little cat and sell two pounds a yam and all them type of things, that can't take him out of poverty.
Well, might be true, you know. But the good thing is at least he's trying to help himself. Now the question is, what can we do to help him to help himself?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's my point. We have too much generational poverty in this country.
Yes.
And that type of life, that type of activity will never lift the people out of poverty.
You know, I heard how you started off, and I understand the concern that you have. And while you were speaking, I was saying to myself, okay, yes, I see your point. But then the question is now, how do we help these people?
Yeah.
You know, how can we help them?
Well, the government, as I said before, you know, the government has thousands and thousands of acres of land.
Right.
Those land are available to the people, and in a sort of a cooperative way, and it's sort of a mother farm thing like it's set up, and they have, like how we saw the AMC.
Mm-hmm.
And all this everything, and you go around and buy goods from the people and sort it out, and you export what can be exported, and you manufacture something that you can have
so like a plan, so like a major plan.
Yes.
Yeah. So because we have another caller, enlighten anything as we close out 2022. That you'd want to say to the general audience?
Yeah, well, I would have really liked to hear more people talk about what is that can be done to uplift the people of the country, uplift the nation, and for us to demand better governance from who are in charge, so that we can lift this country out of the mire that it has fallen into, and to get more peace amongst the people, and for the people to recognize that they have a role to play in what is happening in this country.
My brother, on behalf of the team here, we certainly want to thank you for your contribution. You have been consistent in calling this program and sharing your views. And every view that we get is important. And, we just want to thank you. And we want to wish you all the best for the new year. And please keep the dialogue going. Continue to speak, my brother. And we will continue to listen.
Okay, I hope that this station will continue to be available for us to express our views, and
Yes, man,
that
definitely.
is also our hope. Thank you very much. Yes,
and
have a great day.
all the best for the coming year, and hope that everything will work out fine.
Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Blessings.
Blessing to you too. Thanks.
All right. Well, I like what Donovan Hoylett is saying to me online here. He says, "Morning, folks. 2023. If you're not boycotting all who doing the corruption, then you with it."
Straight.
Yes.
Madam.
Yes.
Something. I'm gonna boycott that word. But that's such a great point. Even when I was talking about the thing with the United Nations passing their resolution, and we ourselves as Caribbean neighbors being silent on what's going on. We're too silent on what's happening with Haiti, with our neighbor Venezuela, what's happening in the BVI, even some of what went down in Turks and Caicos with Mr. Missick and so on. It takes a while before you actually. We have another caller?
But we're on the break.
Morning. Oh, it's the break.
Yes.
Okay.
Seniors, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security is advising that the November 2022 payment under the Social Pension Program is now available for collection. Check your text messages to confirm your payment arrangements. For further information, call 876-922-8007. The Social Pension Program, caring for our elderly. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
Half a tree, 100. Bossy, how you do I take taxi start? Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive. Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose a problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me send you. You big star. Yeah, man. Respect my boss. Try to call him, cause trust me. What a relief.
Yes, what's coming to that 100 of them. In the mix with Nessa and DJ Richie. The mix comes on every Monday to Thursday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Join us as we entertain you, inform you, and educate you on everything that will keep you in the mix on Best 100 of them. Como la vibes.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Lady Lee, the Queen of the South, and I'm inviting you all to trailblaze with me on the best of the best radio station, the Best 100 FM, Mondays through Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. You can't afford to miss it on your airwaves. Yes, trailblaze with Lady Lee right here, Mondays to Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. on the best of the Best 100 FM. Yeah.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning. Welcome back. And thank you for holding. To the caller on the line. Welcome, welcome. Yes, good morning.
Morning, caller. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Yes.
Good morning. Go ahead, please, sir.
Yes, Miss Minette.
Yes, sir.
You're talking to the universal identity in oneness.
Darkness. How you do today, man?
He's not darkness. He's the universal identity in oneness.
Yeah, that oneness is the darkness that is right, that overshadowed everything throughout the universe.
There's only light in the studio.
There's only light in the studio, but you know, we have another caller waiting. So hold on. Listen to us. So now we're ending 2022. Yeah, but speak.
All right, go on. Talk.
Make it talk.
We have enough credit so by when we talk. Anyway, hear what I say.
Yes.
Miss Minette.
Yes, sir.
When the program, the last time I talked to you,
yes,
and the program, you was closing, and you said to the people, there is a God who creates darkness and light.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember you said that?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. What I'm trying to explain to you now, in the studio where it is now, you're going to have light and darkness, right?
Yes.
All right. You see the shadow where you're seeing that, huh?
Yes.
You look on the spiritual space of light. Because I'm telling you, the earth are moving in space, you know.
Yes.
Okay. And once the earth moving, there's a greater source where we need to acknowledge because we're coming into a system where that system drives you in your mind.
Okay. So you have to have the light all of the time.
And that fear causes illusion, confusion, destruction, searching for solution, and yet the God who you're speaking about, who you talking about, what the universe you call, fall upon many different names, and all these names is titled. So you want a spiritual connection that aware and identify that we can live in love and harmony for each other by caring and sharing. So a man who having bag of money, it can't buy him way to salvation.
True.
So he must go really know share vanity unto humanity and know in purpose and in existence to play a part of the creation.
True. Yes.
Yes, we agree with you.
So what I'm saying to you, we are in a system and we're trapped in the system, but we have a different system. We're trapped. The whole mindset that is the technology and enslave the mind to a different dimension.
Okay.
Yeah, you Miss Smith?
Yeah, man, I'm hearing you.
Never notice, never look at somebody that use a phone and I go across the road. The phone distract them and keep them onto it, you know, because that focus for them on. You cook all the food and put up all the food and you don't know it's going up. Because the phone, they get to a next game, to another game, to another move.
Yes.
So all these things distracting you. You want to be more naturalistic with nature.
Okay.
That means you don't need no phone. You just want to get time out with nature around you, with you, beside you, and acknowledge it for what it is, that is life.
All right. So, thank you.
Mankind being the biggest destruction unto the creation and unto themselves. So it's on the negative alone make the change. Positive don't change in this minute.
All right then. All right.
Positive don't change. What is positive? Righteousness, love, caring, sharing, and unity. The oneness in every.
Yeah.
You want to say something?
I said the God factor. That is what is unchanging.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying, that identity is right in front of everyone.
But they have to make choices.
This system that track the mindset for not knowing the truth about life.
So as we're saying, you have to make choices every day, and we have another call online. So thank you for your words of enlightenment to us this morning, Sean. All right, then blessings. Thanks.
Good morning and welcome.
Morning, caller.
Morning, Ernest.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
And to your team that is here today. I am not too bad myself, but fighting the fight staying here.
Yes.
Of all the experiences.
Mm-hmm.
At times we go through the extremes of trying to vindicate and verify what is. But I think we're wasting our time because the truth is eternal. And no matter what you say today, or what them say how much 1,000 years ago, or into the future when it comes, the truth will always stand.
Okay.
That's what it's about. So the lesser the heat, is the colder it gets. The lesser the light, more darkness comes. So that's the whole purpose of everything that works, as how I see it in the entire world.
Okay.
So the more you love, is the more hate you shower, dispel.
True.
And you notice which always got energy from. So you have to continue, man, despite of what it is, because you have to connect to the source.
Amen.
Why he was being deceived? You notice that Adam, the scripture says, spend a little time in the cool of God. For this reason. Adam spent the time understanding, had the knowledge. He could have named all the animals. But the lady never look like she take the time to do all that too. So when the man come and said, boy, I see my whole knowledge from you, that was his first deception. Because the man really give you all the knowledge. I said, Adam could have named every animal that's here. But it comes to the point, come, let us reason, say the Lord thy God.
Amen.
So not now we talk about once you connect,
you're good to go. You're good to
everything, the universe, everything. Look at the wall of Jericho. Physics. So we have technology bring that down. And if what we understand now is what was displayed then, so it shows how backward we are. It says the wisdom of God is wiser, the foolishness of God is wiser than man.
Yeah, that's true. So you understand everything. But as we have another call online call, and we're trying to facilitate
no problem. You have to continue the fight and continue the great work that you're doing.
Yeah, man.
You stand out.
Blessings.
Thank you, my brother.
Morning, caller. Welcome.
Morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you? Yes.
Not bad. Producer, this minute.
Good morning.
Yes.
Morning, my brother.
Yes. Yeah, put it down. Oh, I was just talking to my son here. He's pulling something off a car.
Why? You've been living on the trade, man. You have an apprentice. Go on course.
Yeah.
Been in the family business, like other ethnic groups too.
Yeah. What kind of ingredient do they use to make those feeds?
You know, you got me there. I wanted to check because
it's a main thing, but they had other things.
I suspect it, and it depends on which animal you're talking about. Because what they do for the pigs different from what they do for the chickens, and no doubt the cattle.
I don't think it should be different. I mean, when pig is hungry and fowl is hungry, they just eat what they get. Even your ground, your corn, your yam, they just eat.
Right, but
So
remember now, it's the numbers that you're feeding. Feeding 200 chicken different from feeding 10 yard fowl who exist on bugs and worms and picking from what the pigs have left over. Feeding 200 pigs different from maybe you have 10 or 20 of them that you can reap. Like one man say, you can give them breadfruit and peelings. And I was thinking about it and saying, I grew up around animals in my farming community all the time. We never had a shortage, but we're not feeding a herd of 200 cattle or 600 chickens, or this lady who had 130 chickens and had to watch some of them die.
All right, so to answer your question, soybean, you listening?
From what I observed, mostly corn. Corn is the main ingredient.
Well, Percy, I have one here that says
Soybean remains the
waste.
most important and preferred source of high-quality vegetable protein.
So
for
can't
animal
we
feed.
plant soybean here?
That's true. Because when you look at what makes up, you have water, protein, carbohydrates, fats, minerals, and vitamins. You have roughage and all of those things. But
don't we have enough land here to,
of course we do.
to plant enough?
We could.
We can.
We could, yeah.
So why don't they do it?
Well, it's one of the opportunities that you can invest in.
No, I am going to tell you why they won't do it.
But it's not they, Cruz. You have to say, is we. If you and I decide that that's a business opportunity and we want to pursue it, what would stop us from...
It's the private sector that control we. Do you understand that?
No,
they make all those money.
No.
Bringing in those stuff.
No, my brother, don't close the door. Someone is listening now who may be thinking this is a good opportunity. There are two levels of production that we can do in this country. We're not talking about big business production to feed 200 heads of cattle. Most of the people who are suffering, you notice you don't hear broilers or what the other one name? CB. They're not complaining about shortage of feed, you know. It is the small livestock owners in the communities with their 100 chicken, maybe 220, you know what I'm saying? It's the small farmers who are suffering. So what we need to do is find a space in the economy to feed that segment where even at the community level, persons can produce enough to take care of what is needed at that level.
Oh, so that's why I saw it on hot topic this morning that the opposition was calling for investigation into the feed shortage.
Yes, because it may well be that the same ones who are at the top of the food chain, whatever come in is them have it.
Then that's why I'm saying the private sector.
But they don't stop you from doing what you can do for yourself at the community level. That's why we make such an emphasis of it. They cannot stop your Cruz. Think about it. You have 2 acres of land down in country. You can't do what you want upon it if you are sensible. Yes.
The private sector been stopping us from in the 80s, from in the 70s, come right up.
You're not hearing me now.
Check your history.
You're not hearing me. You're not hearing me.
I'm hearing you.
All right. You hear Pastor was talking about being intentional and taking decisions.
Yeah.
We can be swept away because man up top is making the decisions which will starve you out of things. But you right there in your space can look at what you have, deal with your neighbor. There is somebody who is in a community where there may be 10 women raising chickens and each woman have 100 chickens. That person with 2 acres of land or less than that can say, I am going to plant something, develop something to keep those 10 farmers in production for produce food for their livestock. That no have nothing to do with what the big man is up there doing, because your couple bags of feed that you produce per week or per month don't affect him. And it can sustain a community. And if communities across the country were working like that and thinking like that and moving like that, we're not talking about massive factory-based production where you're going to have to go to development bank and you're going to... You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand, but there's always somebody in the way to stop you from doing what you're doing.
Well,
don't let them stop you.
Don't let them stop you. As I said, every person who has done anything saw the obstacles, but they saw the opportunities and they moved forward and they overcame. And that's what we encourage people to do. Yes, Cruz.
One of the main things, we need land that we cannot get. The small man cannot get enough land.
So we're in agreement with that, because that is something.
To do what you have to do.
All right. So one of the changes you want to see in 2023 is land being given access to land. That government can do that and change everything by giving more people access to land to farm.
Access to land.
All right, then. Good. Any other suggestions?
Well, my biggest suggestion that I've been telling people, where I work here, it's like stone, it's like marl, it's rock. And I get 2 old drum, cut it in half, and I plant yam head in it.
Okay.
Like
being self-reliant.
Yam head sound sell by the pound, like $70 per head. I plant 3 head in 1 drum, and I got three food on it. One weigh about 5 pounds.
Okay.
So if you do the math, you get like 5 pounds of food from 1 head.
Okay.
And that's for your own.
More
That's
than
for your
100%.
That's for your own consumption now.
Yes.
That's just so you can.
If every Jamaican can plant that in their backyard, they could help to feed themselves.
True. All right. So we're getting somewhere.
Yep.
All right.
And
then.
that's the kind of effort that we applaud and that we're talking about.
That's the kind of mindset shift that we want in Jamaicans as we move forward.
I love that suggestion, sir.
All right,
Thank you
cool.
so much.
Thank you. Blessings. All the best for 2023 when it comes.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So that was an interesting exchange concerning even just producing feed for your animals at the community level. Almost every community, there's a square of land that can be put into production for something. Good morning. Welcome, welcome.
Morning, love and bless. Welcome.
Morning, African. How are you?
Morning, African.
Yeah, I'm present and I give thanks for it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to be here, you know. Living in this time.
Mm-hmm.
Now after I get myself involved in a certain thing, you know.
Okay. So, African, what say you as we close out 2022 and move forward into 2023? What is your words of wisdom and advice to us, my brother?
Objective.
Yes.
The government need any one of them objective them.
Oh, you're asking? You know, I never know. We need to check that back.
Huh?
I can't tell you, African. I've not been consistent in terms of checking it. I know the crime thing was one of them, but that don't seem to be working out. Anything else?
Well, the pandemic threw everybody's objectives off schedule, so you will hear that.
All of these ministries, none of them meet them objective.
So you're still looking then at accountability, that we should be seeking to hold the government accountable to the objectives that they had set for themselves.
Oh, we're going to do that, Miss Trinity.
Well, we are a little distance from the next general elections, but it means starting that process of analysis and discussion and taking your conversations around the island so people can get involved, because it's igniting people power that's going to do it. Our 60th anniversary tagline was what? Reigniting a people for greatness.
Nation for greatness.
Yeah. So we can jump on that bandwagon.
Yep.
Something has happened and I'm no longer hearing African.
Miss Minety.
Yes.
May I say, me could find out if they meet any one of them objective, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
That's one thing we can do. Yeah.
What in them?
All right,
yeah.
All right, love and bless. It's good to be here.
All right, my brother.
All right,
have a good one.
And I hope our people keep up for next year. Because next year, now go so a nice, you know, Miss Minety, for the Africans, you know. And I think the virgin, what did I talk there? Said the private sector in our way. What you are saying, Miss Minety, is nothing bad with that, you know. But I think the same thing we must reach you to, you know, Miss Minety.
Yes, but it only succeeds if I quit. And we can't quit. And we're not going to necessarily win at the first pass.
And we're not going to call down doom on next year. Not render that.
Not really doom, you know. But when we look on the prophesy things and we are come, because what the government them are doing, come like prophecy, you know. Them not hiding them are doing, you know.
Yeah, but you see, the truth is, you know.
Yes.
My brethren, the whole of the money what we spend on the country and the people, you know. It's key for my brethren. Nobody afraid to acknowledge that, you know. So the year if we are come now, you know. We're certain money to spend, you know. a certain thing to do. Look at farming, not even the farming them can't talk about, you know. Food security them can't talk about that, you know. Because them know so them not have none to do anything, you know, Miss Minute for next year, you know. And we the people them, you know.
And so
that's why I'm like what you say.
That's why I put that approach to Cruz, who was on the phone, because we're not gonna get any breaks from those who profit by keeping us oppressed. You're not gonna get a break from them, so you have got to figure a way to start your own production.
Miss Minute,
yes, sir.
Make we organize some initiative between ourselves. Organize and try get some land, either by purchase or lease, and make we start some farming, Miss Minute.
And agro-processing. Those are the big ticket items for me.
Miss Minute, you know what Aki dash in at the Christmas, yeah?
And me even here say sorrel spoil and throw away.
Miss Minute, this is something then dash card them now have nothing to put in now.
Yeah.
Have to keep till next week and next month, Miss Minute. This is a problem we have.
All the time.
Miss Minute, make we organize and get in a process here, Miss Minute.
Yes, sir. I actually I have some inquiries out. So, yeah, I expect to see movement on that.
Inquire about this stuff that we use.
Yes, yeah, because even RADA, calling out RADA, I have been investigating mobile agro-processing plants that can even go from community to community and just give even just homeowners an opportunity to extend the shelf life of what they, process and store.
Miss Minute, we could do this the next year, no?
Yes, brother, it's on the cards.
Huh?
It is on the cards.
Miss Minute, it's good to be here. Yeah?
All right, brother. Have a good one. Thank you.
Good morning, caller. Welcome. How are you?
Good morning, lights of the world. How do you all do?
Good morning, Lady Love. What's up today?
Good morning.
I've been seeing some things that we have problems with. You know that there are some plants in the country, like the snakeweed and shema maca and those kind of things, die out totally. You can't find it nowhere. Where I used to fish in St. Elizabeth. And you know what caused all of that? They spray with them, have a spray the grass and them start to stop there. Instead of them group together and chop down the place and plant like our ancestors used to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, planting things, we have to be importing seeds to plant. The corn, after I plant it one time and try to plant again, it's not functioning at all.
Now get a new set of seed. We know that. Yeah.
So what do we do in this kind of situation? We have to organize men again to work together and chop down the place and plant the things them because we're losing the thing. In St. Mary, they used to have a lot of things plant until they chop down the place, chop down the fruit trees and those kind of things. A lot of guava and those things. And guava is a very healthy thing for the brain.
It is.
They chop them down. And when you say you're not planting, I not plant nothing for nobody. Because Miss wounded.
So, that's what they ask.
Sound like old people. The old people are saying that?
People are saying that right now.
Okay.
Because of the there's a place in St. Mary that is called it was the Garden of Eden under the previous owner. But that place, people take it now and turn and it looks like the rest of it is going to be turned into a concrete jungle. Because the cutting down the trees and not planting as much. And things like aloe vera used to be there plenty. You go there now, you're not seeing none, you know? These are the things that we are losing, and aloe vera is a very healthy thing for people. So we have to get back to what we used to and see how prosperous we can become. I don't know how we are going to do it, but we can try. People must work together. If people was working together, like when we go, and everybody say, when come early, come work, and by noon everybody finish work because the work finished, and them eat them breakfast, and them eat them lunch, and then gone on the yard, and the next day now they gone to somebody else's field. That's what used to happen, you know.
So
And we never used to lose the things them.
So one of the suggestions you're making is the whole need for return to serious community, return to working together, and then you are also speaking to the fact of food security and the plants that are endemic to us, that we need to have a wide-scale national effort to replant them and not just building all these concrete jungles. All right?
That's it. And finally, somebody said this morning that we have to shine the light of love.
Yes.
To everybody.
Okay.
In my community, I do it. When I call on the phone, I do it. But we need more people to start saying, I love you, because people believe love means to God bed. And we have to start preach that. It don't mean that alone.
Yeah. So the love in the actions that follow up indicate that I love the person.
And you have to love from the head to your toe and from your toe to your head. If you don't love like that, you need to have Latin part with the Creator.
All right, then, Lady Love. Bless you. That's why we call you Lady Love. All the best for 2023.
Yes. All the best for 2023. To all Jamaicans today, think about working and living good with your neighbor. Once you start with that, you'll win the world.
All right.
Russia can't come here.
All right. We're up on our 9 o'clock break, even as Lady Love issues some love this morning to all of us.
All right.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
Yes, what's coming to the best 100 of them. In a mix with Nessa and DJ Richie. The mix comes on every Monday to Thursday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Join us as we entertain you, inform you, and educate you on everything that will keep you in a mix on Best 100 of them. Come on, have vibes.
Half a tree, 100. Bossy, how you do I take taxi start?
Chano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Try and call him, guys, trust me.
What a relief.
There will be days when you're too tired to move, to drive, but you think you have to because your vehicle won't wash itself, right? But no, you don't have to visit a car wash. 123 Mobile Car Wash will come straight to you. Yes, you heard right. 123 Mobile Car Wash is offering services in Kingston and St. Andrew and St. Catherine. We shampoo and detail cars, trucks, offices, and more. No job too small. Call us at 876-631-3400. 123 Mobile Car Wash. We come to you.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Lady Lee, the Queen of the South, and I'm inviting you all to trailblaze with me on the best of the best radio station, the Best 100 FM, Mondays through Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. You can't afford to miss it on your airwaves. Yes, trailblaze with Lady Lee right here, Mondays to Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. on the best of the best, Best 100 FM.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning, caller. Thank you for holding. Good morning, welcome.
Yes, good morning to you both.
Good morning, Malvern. You three.
Good morning, Malvern.
What say you, my friend, from the cool hills of St. Elizabeth?
What I say now is taxes. Is tax time the same time in the majority of the world or all the world? Tax time. What time is tax time in most of the world?
I know that in the US is the end of the year. We are.
The end of the year is not in April.
It's April.
April for US.
Yes,
for US, and we are in, and we are
the same.
We are in
North America. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So tax time is in the spring time. Yes.
Yes.
Interesting.
Why do you ask?
Harvest time.
Is it so?
Well, we can speak for Jamaica and North America.
Well, springtime is planting. We don't know. We can't say definitively what happens in most of the world.
We don't know when it's tax time worldwide.
Worldwide, no.
And we don't know if there is a set time worldwide when it's tax time. Is that correct?
That is correct. We don't know. Have you checked it?
Okay, we don't know. All right. And the reason why I asked this question is because Jesus was born during the tax time of his time.
Oh,
okay.
But tax time changed from century to century, you know.
That's what I asked the question again. If that's because a tax time was the first mention of taxes was by Caesar Augustus. Is that correct?
But okay, there are two things that happen since you're talking Bible history. There's census, and Jesus was born at a time when a census was called. That's why his parents were.
No, wait, please. No, it says the word TAX is written. Tax.
Okay.
KJV, not the LGBT.
All right, I think you're gonna just make your point then without interrogating.
Yeah, so
what's your point?
I'm saying that just primary school common sense. If tax time is the same worldwide.
But it is
and
not.
I think it is.
No, why do you think it is? What's your research to back that up?
That's what to ask.
And what would your research be that makes tax time now the same as tax time 600, 2,000 and years ago?
See, why do I think both times are the same?
Yes.
Well, it is usually at the end of the year when the harvest is in.
But usually is based on empirical evidence.
What?
Usually, when someone say usually, they're referring to empirical evidence. What is your evidence?
Okay, all right. I really don't know.
There you go.
I'm not going to pretend like I know what I don't know. Unlike a lot of people who like to pretend that they know things.
There you go. That's why we are having this exchange. You want to make a point about when Jesus was born, and we're not challenging you on anything in that regard, because neither Pastor Percival or myself feel that Jesus needed to be born on the 25th of December as we know it now to affect our faith.
I despise the idea of December 25th because I know it's a lie.
Okay.
Okay, so that's fine.
I never said Jesus was born on Christmas Day. I never said that. I never ever said that.
Yeah, I realize that. I realize that that's the point you want to make, but you could make it without discussing tax time. Because you'll find that there's no one
We
here.
have to establish a time. How else can we establish a time? How else is it to establish a time?
The debate exists because we cannot establish a time. That's why there's a debate.
No, really, no. I say it's a false narrative, I say.
That's all right.
Yes. Because
but what does it change for you? What does it change for you? Does it change anything for you?
Humanity can know the truth.
Okay.
Well, it seems as if you and Percy think it is impossible to know the facts.
No, we are saying it's not important to us. It's important to you. So you should embark on a process that satisfies you. It's not important to me. For example, I know you exist and I'm talking to you. I don't need to know the date on which you were born, where you were born, or the parents. The relationship we're having is based on what's existing between us now.
The truth of historical truth is not important.
No, we're
not saying that. It depends on the nature of the question. The fact that you're speaking to me is a sufficient proof of your existence without my requiring you to deliver your birth certificate.
How old is Malvern? That's right at this point in time. You understand what I'm saying? But Malvern, don't get me wrong.
I just assume that people would be interested in the facts.
Some people are interested in that particular fact.
Yeah.
You know what I'm interested in? Was he born? Was he crucified for the purpose that I believe he was crucified? If there was information which brought doubt or controversy on that subject, I would be greatly interested. But was he born on the 25th of December or the 6th of May or sometime in October or maybe sometime in... not interested.
I see.
But Malvern, let me just say
there's nothing about God's truth that happened on earth that I am not interested in.
All right. Okay, Malvern, just don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. There are some things historically that are significant. You understand that from my perspective, right?
Some things are important, you say, are significant.
Some things like as
the historical accuracy of it.
It's there. It is
when
there.
When did World War I start?
That's another thing, but
that's a fact, right?
That's a fact, yeah. When was Jesus born? The fact that he was born is a fact. No, the question, no. The question and the controversy rages, was he born on the 25th? It is now accepted that the 25th of December is not when he was born. All right?
Okay.
Because if you look at the historical record and the geography and the historical accounts coming from Judaism, he was not born on that point in time. That's why I said don't get into that controversy, because it doesn't affect for me the fact that the incarnation was a reality, that God became flesh.
Yes. It does not affect for me either. It does not. It does nothing to me either.
Right.
It doesn't change the facts either. For me, it changes nothing.
All right.
But I think, as a curious human being, I'm curious because all the world is saying one thing, and I want to know what is really the fact.
Not all the world is not saying one thing. And that is what I do.
There are some things, you see, there are some things that are purely academic. That's all it is. It's a point of discussion. And the truth is, we can spend the entire morning on this. There are so many things that people will always question.
Yes.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Because as he says that to me, my brother, I can take you into the historical and do a study on that. But for this purpose, why we are here now, that is not important right at this point in time. If you want to go into a historical document and the history and all of that, I can do that. And I can do it, but this is not the time right now in regards to that. So don't get me wrong in terms of the importance of that. But it is not, as somebody say, it will not affect the price of bread or sugar for some people when we are trying to get people to begin to change their mind in terms of thinking and believing what God has said about them in terms of their importance to God and how that changes everything.
Yes.
You understand me, I say, Malvern? So I can get into all of those things and I will do it, but not right at this point in time.
Yes. You're correct, sir. Change is nothing for us.
Yeah, man. Okay. All right then.
All right.
So what are the wishes as you close out and say bye-bye to us for 2020?
I wish the government would invest in agriculture.
Yes.
Me too.
Me too.
All right.
Agricultural investment. And it doesn't take a lot, $500 million.
And them good to go. And it changes the whole.
We can put water.
All right. Tell you what, let's not wait on them. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's not wait on them.
You do what you can do. Yeah, man.
Well, yes, I am dealing with my own water, yes.
Yeah,
but
good.
not as a country.
Yeah, man.
All right.
So encourage your neighbor to do the same.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
All right, blessings.
All right. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Corey.
Morning, Corey.
How you doing?
Yeah, man, I'm okay, man.
Mm-hmm.
Glad to hear you, Tree.
Three blind mice? No, not the three blind mice. Yes.
I think the Bible says you must chase off a vain genealogies.
Yeah, well, it says that too. And Paul had that challenge when he was preaching the gospel of the kingdom.
Can't go wish after holidays.
Yes, it's true.
And some persons are concerned that there are some pagan holidays that have been brought into the Christian faith, and we honor those days in a special way. But I think that's a great thing. You must reprise everything that the enemy take. You must take it back and apply it for a good purpose.
Turn it for good. I don't know that God will reject a person for praising him.
Yeah.
And worshiping him. I don't know that.
Yeah. So what do you have to say this morning, Corey? What are your wishes?
Well, I can't go wish after holidays as well, because I'm credit finish.
Thank you.
We wish you many more credit in the days to come.
All right,
my brother.
Bless, Corey.
All right, my brother. Blessing.
Yeah,
all right. On the line, someone made the point that the tax returns in America is from January 15th to April 15th officially. So as he was asking, I was going to make the distinction between the tax year, which is the calendar year,
and the returns.
The returns, because, and during the time of Mary's pregnancy, remember it was a census. Well, maybe census and tax time coincide, but the census.
They were always
counting
people.
because they taxed everything.
Yeah.
And in fact, tax and tribute.
You need to watch The Chosen.
Tax and tribute were really the same thing.
Yes.
You need to watch The Chosen.
Because you pay tax on land that you occupy, on production that you generate.
That was very oppressive.
It was, yeah. So it can't use tax time. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Hey, Miss Elaine.
No, I can't believe I really get on so fast.
It is your day. How are you?
Oh, we are blessed. This minute I'm Percy. You know, look up at the sky yet?
Yes. When did I look up? It was, which night was it? And there was it was
New glorious.
Yeah, not it. No, I didn't see the stars that you were talking about. Maybe it was.
You see stars on the sky that night?
Maybe it was the time that I looked. Yeah, actually, there was quite a bit of moonlight. Christmas Eve.
Okay.
The sky was cloudy or something?
No, we had good moonlight.
It was moonlight. Never saw it.
No, man. The sky them over
Port Royal.
The sky them over. Well, the road we go to airport.
Palisades.
Yes, over that side right now.
All right, tonight I will look.
Side.
I will look again tonight. But my not seeing it don't mean you didn't see it, because you're a more experienced stargazer than I am. You could be one of the Magi.
Listen. them now will leave until them will take a little while. Them will see what. So listen, so that's why when I say why man fall thing Christmas and the pagan day is not for them farm it on Christmas day. And the day when them find they do all a big brother. You understand? Them find him on the 25th of December.
Mm-hmm.
But them same born on the 25th of December, no. He never born. When the wise man them find him, he was like 9 months old.
You know,
because when the angel come to the wise man and show them the star, at them time them born and the time them to reach there, he's a big baby.
That's true. He wasn't in the manger when the Magi found him.
You understand?
Yes, yes. Oh, so I hear your point now. So you're...
So when them are saying, when the people are saying, where them farm it on the pagan day, them never farm it on the pagan day. Them never do it ritually. And that is the day when them... Listen again, I want to listen, them talk about say, oh, them people that did wicked. What about them people I know? Them people I know, no wicked same way.
Yeah, but because man hasn't changed. But Miss Elaine, we're trying to take as many calls as we can this morning this is our final program. Anything you want, any wishes that you have for Jamaica, you have a chance now to speak to Jamaicans who are listening here and in the diaspora. Anything you want to say?
The me out for Jamaica for next year. I want to help me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get heroes. Parliament there. Parliament is not going to make any money. You see, when everything comes together under one umbrella where all the kids, everybody can come and anything they want for learning or training or for teach somebody, everything is going to be under one. You understand? And we want some big rides, some rides in there too, where the kids them go on free and big people pay.
Okay.
Pay.
All right.
You understand? For the park of ever make money.
Versus a parliament building.
A big hotel.
Okay.
One on the east side and one on the west side.
Okay.
20 stories so we can go up on the top and look over the whole of Kingston too. We not go up on top of the hill to go look down on Kingston. We can see right there. And then now we have a lot of foreigner, a lot of club because everything I go under one.
Okay, so you
understand?
So your idea is that you have a big plan for Heroes Circle and the park. All right, then, Miss Elaine, thank you for joining us today.
Listen, and I wish you, I know you are going to have a happy, successful New Year when it comes.
Thank you very much, Miss Elaine. We wish you the same.
You and your family and friends and everybody and neighbors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, welcome to the Morning Connection. Hello. Like we've lost that person. I noticed that Sting has returned with a stung.
Percy, were you there?
No, I was not there. I never want to be in that traffic jam, because now that they've moved a lot of things out of St.
Is that the only reason why you're not there?
Yeah. Traffic jam? The traffic jam. They couldn't bother the traffic jam this year.
This year. Oh, Lord.
That was so funny. Yeah.
Good morning and welcome.
Morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Morning.
I'm all right.
Yes.
I heard you with some, conflicting discussion. So I just wonder if I can contribute anything to the program.
As long as you're not contributing to the conflict, we're good.
I don't want to get the conflict, but the overheard this, people talking about that Jesus born the 25th and so on. And it's just like, I don't know, man. It's like we just not we're not improving on our intelligence. We're just going backward, constant.
Mm-hmm.
While we're still running with these silly notions, that,
this white man born on the 25th of December and him going to free the world and so on, you know. And
was he white? Was he white?
Well, but I mean, if you look at the picture, you know,
I don't look at the pictures. That's why I tell people, look at the historical record, look at the context. He was not a white man. So that's out through the window already, my brother. So, okay. Yeah, so what is it that you want to contribute to it? Because is it the fact that you're saying that Jesus Christ was not born? That is, to me, the essential thing. Is it a historical fact?
Well, there is no historical record.
That's not true. That's not true. Huh? That's not true. No, there's a historical record. If you look at Bible, but look at extra biblical thing, there is
Jews have their records.
Yes.
It's not Bible based.
Yes.
Where give me give me the
Josephus. Josephus was a writer during that time who spoke about it. Yeah.
No, Josephus never spoke about it.
Oh, you wrote about it. I wrote about it.
No, I did. I read the book. I never spoke about it.
All right.
Yeah. So
you read
but anyways, yeah. But let me just say this before time runs out. Right? Yes. But we never spoke about it. But Josephus is the only person that people always refer to. But let me say this.
Let me ask you a question. Was Pontius Pilate a real person?
I think so.
Okay. All right. So look at those records, those Roman records.
So is it that you don't think Jesus Christ was a real person?
I'm just saying that there is no historical record.
So why do you think Pontius Pilate was
not a real person?
Why would you think one is real but not the other? And the records of that time would come from basically the same source.
Look, from Roman sources, yes.
Yeah.
Was Pontius Pilate?
What I'm saying.
No. Answer that question. You talk about historical record, my brother. Was Pontius Pilate and all of the records that you see in terms of those places, when you go to it, were those real places? Were those persons real persons?
Yeah, he was a real person. And there is a possibility, right, that somebody probably named Jesus. There's a possibility because in those days, a lot of people have those names, right? Just like Jesus. A lot of people have the name. Sorry, just like today, a lot of people have the name Schmidt, Roy, and so on. So that was the dominant name at the time.
So we hear that. All right. So you are saying.
Let me say this before.
Let him.
No, man. Let him speak. Let him speak.
Go ahead.
Let me just say this. You see, look, for example, like, I'm from the days of, like, late, Shearer, the Prime Minister, catching just a little bit when I was small. Then comes Michael Manley, Edward Seattle, and so on. Right. You could have said, right, that a man named Roy was sent to prison from one of these men, right? It doesn't mean that Roy exists, right? You know what I'm saying? But because there are no record, the man exists, so for example, Shearer exists, and he could have sent Roy to prison, right? Then people would run with that, because Shearer exists, but you say, oh, Shearer did exist, so why can't Roy didn't exist? You know what I'm saying? But let me say this. You see, we have some historical gods, It's a bit deep and it takes time for people to understand what I'm saying, right? But remember, that Egyptian history was very important, especially First and Middle Kingdom, right? Was very important because the 9 gods that reign in Egypt, remember them?
I really don't want to cut you, but hear me now. You're taking a very long time to make the point, and we don't have the time. We would be happy to debate it with you another time. The truth is, there's more historical facts leading to him than what you are trying to present to say that it wasn't so. Yeah? That's where it is. So it is clear to me that I was right when I say you come to add to the controversy.
Have you ever visited Israel?
You're adding to the controversy, my brother. The truth is, we don't have the time for it.
No, one of our listeners online is asking, have you ever visited Israel?
No.
Okay.
There you go.
Early said no.
No. But let me say this, right? I've done a lot of reading, right? The point I was trying to make.
Yes, let me hear the point.
Yeah, the point I was trying to make, right, is remember that Egyptian society had a lot of different.
They believed in many different gods. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like you go to America, many different people believe in many different gods there, right?
Yeah.
But from the Egyptian society history, we have the different gods, and out of that, Osiris, Isis, and they had the son Horus. Remember? And
yes,
all the correct.
So how many? I'm gonna ask you one question because we gotta go. Yeah. How many of those gods are being worshipped today and spoken about in modern society? How many of them?
People still worship. In a sense, people still recognize Amen-Ra, because at the end of their prayer they said Amen. Don't even know that it is from one of those gods, Amen-Ra.
We're talking about the God of Israel, whose story and whose narration of events have survived right up to today and continues to grow. I'm not sure what you're saying. I'm not sure what you're saying when you refer to the ancient gods of Egypt who are no longer holding sway.
All right, but we have to take another call. My brother, call again here. We'll talk about it
in the new year.
All right.
All right. Take care.
Can I say my final wish?
Sure.
As a
right. What I would love to see Jamaica approach is a referendum, a reform of the constitution.
All right.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, it will come. It will come.
All right.
All the best.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. It's now time for the 9:30 break. So.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
You can call us on 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Yes, what's coming to the best 100 of them. In a mix with Nessa and DJ Richie. The mix comes out every Monday to Thursday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Join us as we entertain you, inform you, and educate you on everything that will keep you in the mix. Best 100 of them. From what I find.
I am blessed. There we go.
Half a tree, 100. Bossy, how you do a take taxi start?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose your problem and get back your transmission brand new. With them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Try to call them because trust me.
What a relief.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back and good morning to the caller online.
Good morning, Mrs. Lauren.
Oh, how are you, sir?
I'm good.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good, Pastor Pian, Sir Lauren.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, man. You know, at this one, I just listening to the program, and I see a team developing a strong team of self-reliance, depending on ourselves to survive.
Oh, you mean, man?
You hear it, my brother. You hear it.
Yes.
Yeah. And we have to take that very serious because, to me, that's the only way the large majority of us, which are black, can't stop saying that. We'll ever survive in this system.
Absolutely.
You see things like banking, where we say, boy, we can't access funds from the bank. We can create our own pool of funds in our community, from which we can help each other. We can provide the basics ourselves within our own community. Turn our back on the existing system. You will not rely on them for your betterment. Your prosperity to come from a system that is totally turned us into servants rather than producers.
Yes, and consumers.
There's no future here with that system.
And it's
turn our back.
And what's important is for us to make the choice to be self-reliant rather than to be forced into it, because everything that we desire is being taken away from us little by little. I want to make the choice when I still have the ability to control one or two things.
For example, very correct, my dear. Yeah. For example, why can't we import our own food for the animals? The farming communities around Jamaica. We group ourselves, we're making some money. We import our seeds. We don't have to depend on the competitor, a large competitor to provide us with our feed, the persons we are competing with.
Yeah, and them same ones, sell you the baby chicks and then starve you off the food that they need to survive. Oh, Jesus, help us.
So why can't a group of farmers do this for themselves? You're talking about finding the suppliers abroad, bringing in the stuff here and distributing amongst yourself. Why do you have to depend on these people?
And caller, as you were looking about it when Cruz raised the point of feed and what made up the feed. I just quickly looked at it. There are 900 ingredients that you can use into feed.
To make feedstock.
But it's important that you have the carbohydrates, the protein, the vitamins, like us, and you can do different mixes. What people have done in other countries is substitute when they can't get corn, they use something else, which is a carbohydrate source, which is grown. Yeah, man. So that is what it is. They have to import.
Well, one of the things you're going to find, and why Mr. Cruz was saying, the big men, Mr. Cruz was saying, the big men will stop you, or somebody up the high in the food chain will stop you, is because if you are producing at a certain level, or if you're going to import, you're going to hear that if it have certain ingredients in it, you need to get a certain permit and a license and storage facilities, and there are some standards that you might have to meet when you have to interact with government to bring things onshore. If you're in your community and you are pulling from the land to create something to feed your animals, there's nobody to stand between you and either your neighbor who need the same thing, and it's why when you say self-reliance, I am attracted to that way of describing it, because you and your neighbor working together can do something without having to go get a permit from, although now they're saying if you are planting, you need to be registered with RADA or with some agricultural society. In and of itself, not a problem if these societies are populated by the same people with whom you are working, your neighbors, your neighboring farmers, and so on and so forth. But we have to begin to organize at a certain level that don't require us to be getting permission from the government to do the things that are necessary for survival. If I have to get permission to survive, then something has gone very wrong.
And very much so. And there is this whole aspect of our economics. Recently, just to note that the government borrowed $1 billion US.
1.7.
They have it lined up.
Have it lined up.
Lined up, yeah. That get approved. But when I look at the two facilities, I realize that one is you couldn't get what they call the RSS without the theater. You know what I mean? So the reliance on sustainability facility helps in the climate change management process. But you cannot access that one without having another program going behind it, which we choose to do with the peer.
Yes.
And precautionary line. But all of this adds to get burden.
It does, brother.
You're 90% of GDP. Now, I don't know it gone. I'm sure it's another, it may be 100%.
You mean when they go back to the 1.7 billion? Yeah, it's true.
And when you look at the storms, gathering storms on the horizon, in terms of the supply line, cost of energy, an outright war between our partners, we should, trying to preserve our economic strength so far and trying to produce much more in terms of import substitution, and getting our resilience
back up,
really embedded in our people.
That's where we need to go. But we have another call online, and we're trying to give as much. What are your closing words to us as we close out 2022?
Closing words.
Yes.
And then the people, our black people, the predominant people, have to turn their back on the system. Do not rely on the system. Generate your own programs within your community, pool your funds, and from there you finance each other's development. And I wish to wish you and the station and all the listeners, home and abroad, healthy and prosperous new year, and that the nation will continue to be the voice.
All right, my brother.
Thank you very much, my brother. Very same to you and yours.
All the best to you, my brother.
Blessings.
Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning. Welcome.
Hello. Okay, it was open. But I like what
the resilience.
The resilience. We have to be able to develop a resilience that causes us to thrive in this time. Morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning again. Taking a second swing of the willow.
Is it a 6 or a straight drive? Go ahead.
No, man. Keep it all on the ground.
Okay, sir. Drive through the covers.
Yeah. No, I'm a cutter.
Oh, you cut. Right. Man, they get caught in the slips, Man, they get caught in the slips.
All right. You cut it, you cut hard.
All right, sir.
Yeah. JF, agriculture. My suggestion is we need a new organization, a new enterprise. Because the JF has been operating over the last 60, maybe 70 years. That take us to where we are, which is faulty and not agile enough for the situation that we're in. We need a JS 2023 as an enterprise.
Okay.
All right? You need to get the youngsters involved and the people that were training in college to come out and get in the business. And also those who've been there a long time. Or can't take us forward.
Yeah. I you know,
it's a new dispensation.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. And I'm attracted to it because I know that sometimes the point of origin of a thing can be so overwhelming that your ability to shift it into a new to reinvent itself is compromised. And when I heard the chairman, each time I hear the chairman speak, I'm like, what century is he speaking from? I don't even really think he's as current as he needs to be in his thinking. And that's about as far as I'll go.
About bleaching and we need 21st century head.
Yeah, but I know what you mean, sir.
And with a sort of energy, with a new dream.
You need a junior JS, like how they have a junior stock exchange. You need a junior JS with the younger ones that can.
The old struggle, they can now have a council.
Yes,
overlook.
Yeah.
And make sure the new heads don't go where they shouldn't go. But I don't think they have the energy because all that I hear them saying is the complaining.
Very old school.
Government. It's a commercial activity.
Yeah. Yes. But, and you know, when you say they're over 70 years old, that tells you they predate the 1962 attempt at independence. So they're coming from a colonial. They would still have a kind of a colonial bias.
And a situation that existed then. It's reasonable well enough.
Yeah.
But in the last 30 years, to my humble estimation, it's not doing anything for us.
Yeah. I understand the point you're making. I was doing some research on the weekend and found that 2 of our main prisons were slave trading centers and holding quarters for slaves.
You mean Spanish Town and Tower Street?
Spanish Town and Tower Street. And I feel like that just that fact alone.
That's another subject, you know.
All right.
Yeah. That fact alone should take them out of service.
Yeah, because everybody should look at the sensitive condition and understand it.
Yeah.
All right, my brother.
Jigsaw.
Yeah.
I'm getting the signal.
Thank you very much, my
it's
brother.
almost 10 o'clock. Oh, my God. The morning is winding down. Thank you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Final call.
Last call across the street.
Yeah, just a couple of things.
Sure.
Somebody called earlier, we're talking about the book Nola and Farmer and so on.
Yes.
And Percy.
The book.
The person was actually, probably he didn't realize, was talking about 2 different generations. Now, the older generation, which he doesn't even know about, was I don't remember the name of the reading book, but that's the one that I use in school. And probably Mr. Percy, sorry, call it Percy, Mr. Percy, because of our age.
Yeah.
Master Willie has a role in the mud.
But yes, man, that's one. Yes.
Come out, you fat pig! What a mess you are in. No, Percy was a chick. What name Mr. Grums? Master Willie is a pig. Look at Mr. Joe, I believe, was a farmer.
Mr. Joe was a farmer, yes.
Yeah. I don't remember the rest of them. I'm just Grums up was a pig. Now, when I'm a teacher, and I taught for 40 years, so then a later generation, came, you had another set of reading books in Percy in English, A, B, C, D, go right up to F or something like that. Was that I learned to read the one I did about Master Willie and so on.
Yes.
But later on, I read this series, Percy in English, A, B, C. The Nola series came afterward.
Okay.
Bob, Baby Bob, and so on. I did not use that, but I know of it. Moving right along. The thing with Jesus, somebody mentioned about what color he was or something like that. And he mentioned a painting that we see. We saw about the place.
Yeah, somebody said Jesus.
That painting, the person who painted it, I don't think he has ever seen Jesus. Hello?
Yes, I agree with you.
Huh?
I agree with you.
You're true.
Yes, but in Jesus, it's just like our heroine there, Nanny. The person who painted Nanny has never seen Nanny. Huh?
Yes.
But he painted it, we estimate well. So the thing with Jesus, there are some Rastafari, there's a school of thought that when famous Roman man painted his nephew, some Rasta can tell you, I forgot whose nephew, and say Michelangelo or something like that, and said that wasn't Jesus really. So you're right. Is that we don't know what color is really. I mean, we present now.
We can make assumptions based on geography of the region and so on. But
yes.
Yeah.
All right, that's very good.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful close of 2022.
You too.
All right, thank you very much.
Wow.
All right.
What a morning it has been.
I gotta share what Earl Brown said here. He says people who come on radio program and deny the birth of Jesus should visit Israel first before they comment on his birth. Which is kind of ties in with what the last caller was saying, that some people have put forward their interpretation of things without a real visual contact.
Well, when a person is gonna come and say, "Boy, I read a lot," so what makes what you read the fact, and the things that I read not the fact? I mean, come on.
But outside of that too, there is the historical record that is there that you can actually go and with the things that are there. People are into archaeology and so on. It is emerging.
And anthropology, please.
Yes.
Yeah, but bear in mind now, that your level of knowledge or the revelation you have about things comes through your experience, your industry, and the effort you put into pursuing knowledge. Other persons, some of them who call us, they are pulling their understanding of things from a myriad of places that reflect other people's biases, research, and so on and so forth. So we are always gentle and respectful in our analysis of what comes out of that, because whenever they have the revelation that you have, or that I have, that you have, they will come to a fresh understanding, and they will be equally passionate and vigorous in putting it forward. So I love the energy with which people come at this. I love the fact that they are curious, because it all begins with curiosity. And one of the things we do here is push our listeners to be curious and to go and check things out. We see Malvern coming back to us with a deeper analysis of things, and each time, because if something is really important to you, you're not gonna just put it down based on what a man say on the radio. And if that's how you're gonna shape your ideas, then you're gonna be in problems. So a lot more effort has to be put into testing what you hear. I pray that everybody does the same. Test what you hear, research, satisfy yourself. We go by the saying. It is a scriptural. What is not of faith is sin. Meaning, if you don't believe it and you just go on with another man's idea, you are not being true to self. Sin, in this sense, call it lack of integrity, whatever it is, but the authenticity with which you ought to shape your views and express them is a necessary part of your mental health.
As we...
Earl, give us another one. Earl said, just like how they are using an American inventor's picture for Paul Bogle. Maybe they look alike.
Yeah, you understand?
Yeah,
but as we move, this is our final program for 2022. Information, but not just information, but really engage in the information that indeed you can make informed decisions. It's going to be very, very important. We have had misinformation, disinformation, propaganda, and we could go all of what is there. My simple encouragement to persons, get to know, engage the facts that are there, know as much as you can, and then rightly divide what it is, what makes sense. Because a lot of information out there that a president call it fake news or whatever you call it. Yeah, we just need to, as I say, get the knowledge, grow. Because somebody once said, without knowledge, my people perish.
Lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge.
Well, the other piece to that, just to add to it, is that approach it with an open mind.
Yes.
You must approach it with an open mind. Because, I mean, you never know. You know, there's just a slight chance
that you may be wrong.
That you might be not right.
All right. May I say thank you to the two gentlemen, both of you, who have made the morning way more interesting than it was shaping up to be. Thanks, Lowell, in particular, for guiding us through the last year's body of work. And to the listeners, all of you, Conrad, Tacky, Big Truck, Earl, I just call the names that I'm seeing here. Simeon, Earl, Big Truck. They've been chatting it up with us online. And to all of you who have, sent us notes, called us and engaged with us, we thank you very much, because through the exchange of ideas, new direction can emerge that is beneficial for our country and for our own personal growth and development. Thank you, Brother Lloyd.
Yeah. We can't go without thanking the guests that we have had throughout the year. A big thank you to JPS, who has been one of our partners, every Thursday on the air.
Ligony Club,
the Ligony Club,
Urban Pub,
JD's
Urban Pub. Carmen Brown.
Yes.
Gave us such support.
Yes. And of course, Best FM.
Almighty God.
Yes, the Best FM team, And above all, the Almighty God.
Yes, well, he's first. He's the Alpha and Omega. All right, that seems to be it. What was the music you asked for?
There's one being played.
Change is gonna come.
Change is gonna come. All right. Cool. All right.
Brand new world, give us a brand new day, a brand new feeling. Yes, we want a brand new life, a brand new world, give us a brand new day, a brand new feeling. Yes, we want a brand new life. Now everyone I look up late for happiness. No waste no time, now no space for no sadness. Stay there staring at my face, me know my God bless. Father God, I in my protect me interest. No rain not fall, but the sun still I shine the best. And the youths them in the streets still I try them best. Babylon free up the system, Jah will do the rest. Like no one left this place in a be stress. Watch the smile by my face, I just put it there. And the love in my heart, you can't take it away. Come here, march with some true soldier out there. If you not waste your time, then fall away. A brand new world, give us a brand new day. A brand new feeling, yes, we want a brand new